hard to explain it. My heart is racing and I can't take it anymore. I just want you around me, kissing me softly. Our bodies taking control. When you look at me, it's hard to breathe, it's ecstasy. The way you feel me, I have no control. When you're touching me, it's hard to leave, it feels so free. It's an awakening, just don't let go. You make me come alive, can't help myself tonight. You make me come alive, babe. I can feel it, I can feel it.
Hello everybody and welcome to the EsportsWales Twitch channel. I am JakeyBoyPro. I am joined here today by DigitalBacon. A little bit of a switch up in the talent that we had yesterday. We decided from what we were witnessing that a watch party style vibe would be a lot better than what we felt yesterday was. So we've already seen that the Rocket League seems to be underway. We're just going to double check that that's actually happening. It should be Wales versus India. We're a little bit took aback because we were under the impression it wasn't starting for another 5 minutes. But from what it looks like, it's already live, so we're going to jump straight into that and hope that it's the actual game.
Yeah, let's hope that this isn't just a test lobby and we're getting debated, eh, Jakey?
Let's hope indeed.
As it's coming on in, we are expecting Wales to be able to have a solid run, but you know this Indian squad, buddy. I've been casting APAC in the RLCS, and these players are actually pretty cracked themselves. But when you've got players like Breezy on the pitch there, of course, alongside Tadpole, pro RLCS players in the EU region, this is going to be an absolute belter, I reckon.
Yeah, and we've seen Tadpole yesterday really showing the experience that you had. Really rubbing off onto the two younger players of Foxy and Breezy. Obviously, Foxy being one of Tadpole's a long duo that he's played with outside of his professional teams. So the chemistry between those two is already there. But bringing in Breezy, it's really rubbing off onto the young lads. So nice to see him performing well alongside the two.
We've also got to think here for Tadpole, right? He's just sort of announced his retirement as a player. So this is his final hurrah in a tournament. He's now taking a managerial role over on Williams Resolve. So this is like playing at the tip-top level because there's a decent amount of money on the line. You know, there's a lot of prestige behind the Commonwealth Esports games here. And he will want to go out on top. And I know we're all looking at that England squad thinking they are top dogs right now. That's a dangerous squad. But Breezy's also got a bit of an insight in that team, so they should be right for the upset. They've just got to get themselves into a good position to make it to those finals.
Well, actually, a lot of people pin that English team as being the top dog in the tournament, but I don't know whether you caught it yesterday, but Wales actually beat them 3-2 after going down 2-1. So England were already on that match point, and then Wales coming back and showing the resilience to be able to come back into that series and take the victory, and already looking like this game is well in the grasp of the Welsh team.
And again, that comes down to having Tadpole in your squad. That experience, being around since RLCS Season 4, if my memory serves me right, and being able to kick at the top, getting the 5th goal there for Wales. I don't want to be mean, but it's been a little bit of a stomp so far, but that's going to be because the Indian players have got to get up to speed, They're playing on new systems coming on here in a complete different time zone, so maybe a little bit jet lag still, and you'll tend to see these players from India look to evolve throughout a series.
Yeah, and so we're most likely expecting as the game goes on that India will step it up, and there we go, the first goal of this series going for the Indian team, and we can only imagine that things are only going to get a bit spicier moving into the second game of this series.
Yeah, the Indian squad are going to be looking to Hagen here, Jake, because he spent the entire first half of this year over in America at university and then coming back to India to sort of re-coach a lot of the squads to push them forward in the APAC region. And now he's starting to also take that role as a player. And you can notice the teams are starting to really step up, but it does require him to take the charge like that. He cannot be leading from the back. Like you'll see Tadpole do about 50% of the time. He's near enough an end-to-end. You won't see him in the midfield. Yeah. But Argon needs to be all attack, and then command his 2 teammates to give him support.
Whilst this game is going on, we do have other games going on. We've also got Wales versus India in the Dota as well. So we'll be dropping in over there every so often. We hopefully will have a third caster coming on that has a bit more Dota knowledge than DigitalBacon and I, because we're not the best in that front. So when we do get to that, don't question our knowledge. Just go with it. We're going to have some fun.
We're just going to have, like, pure wholesome newbie vibes for that one, I think, has got to be the play. Like, I love some MOBAs. I'm massively into Pokemon Unite at the moment. But Dota is just... I'm not big enough brain for that one, unfortunately, really, to be able to play it to its full extent.
And now India really actually coming back into this game. They've secured 3 goals in the last minute and possibly looking to put a 4th one on the board, but nice defence there coming out from the Welsh squad. And there we go. First game out of the way. Wales taking it with ease. Well,
it's also, like, India has been a little bit unlucky. Their star player at the moment, Abs Crazy, is partaking in the RLCS Worlds. That the wildcard event will be taking place this evening after the whole show and all of that, because it's over in NA. And that was a big hit to him, because of course that's a player going all the way to LAN, one of the best in APAC. So this team having that knock, but then being able to revitalize some of these other players to expand the region is great. And it's awesome that, you know, the Commonwealth Esports Games here can actually help some of the lesser-known players throughout the region really grow, not only in their own esports sort of case, but with experience going internationally, which some of these players wouldn't get the opportunity to do.
Yeah, it gives a lot of the players the option to play on those stages that, yeah, like you said, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to do. Like, for instance, we all know Tadpole, he's played on some of the biggest stages there are, and now Foxy and Breezy alongside him have the opportunity to, you know, play in front of a crowd in what could be the first of many Commonwealth Esports Championships.
I think it's more so for Foxy here, because of course Breezy we've seen throughout numerous years never being able to hit the very tip top, but has been on some incredibly nutty rosters when you look to say Singularity. And so it's just more the case that getting through the bubble into the main stage in Rocket League is super hard, isn't it? I mean, we've covered the action for ages, and it is just getting experience like this is so vital for these players to be able to take it to the next step.
There we go, just waiting to get back into the game. You can see the Welsh players there, nice, calm, collected. Really didn't show much emotion yesterday, and already we're seeing Breezy on the attack, and what a great flick to put it into the top left corner. Early lead for Wales into this second game of the series.
This move is the Breezy flick. I mean, it's notorious throughout the whole of Rocket League, isn't it? Just taking that diagonal flick to send it right up into that top left corner can really do damage to all defenses. And I mean, this is why he's such an aggressive threat, and we will expect to see the majority of goals coming out from him.
Yeah, and already India now starting to put on a bit of a counter-attack, trying to not let the momentum go too hard into the Esports Wales, or Wales team's favour, sorry. We are on the Esports Wales channel. We are the organisation that put this team together, but we just refer to them as Wales whilst they're taking part. Apologise if the slip comes out every so often.
I'm loving the flow of this game as well, because India is one of these emerging regions when it comes to esports. Most people only see them when it comes down to mobile games. Rocket League, of course, not on mobile. This is very much heavily a PC favored game. Of course, the PS4, when that first came out, with the first month where Rocket League was free to play on PS Plus, was great to get, like, what was it, 10 million people into the game instantly.
Yeah.
But this is always seen as you need decent hardware to be able to even hit, like, all these players getting on those 360 hertz monitors and stuff. And for the Indian players coming on through from lesser regions where competition is so diversified, they're coming up against the top of the competition, which most people wouldn't expect them to be able to, you know, kick it with. And here they're showing their worth so well against a squad like Wales, which are heavily the favourite in this matchup, aren't they?
Yeah, especially after the performance we've seen Wales put on yesterday, being able to take down, you know, the favourites of England. Nice little defensive play there coming out from Breezy. Now going on to the counter-attack off the ceiling into the flip. Passes it over to Foxy. Foxy off the double and on to Breezy again. That's some great chemistry play there.
a beautiful coming from the lads. That's what you want to see. It's not only about individual performance, because of course these guys are all playing on different teams when it comes to the club level, but when you come to the international level, when you come to your national level, you want to be able to instantly link up and have that chemistry, and they've got it in spades.
Yeah, just lovely passing play, and India doing the same now. Zayn off the crossbar and out, and now Wales on the defensive play. Breezy called off that from Tadpole. Can India get anything back into this game and stop the momentum from the Welsh team?
India now playing with one lad back is going to really be a risky period of play. They've got to be careful not to overcommit so harsh, because I can see Wales coming out with the pace of their players, especially Foxy there. We've been able to see rotate so quick. Oh, that is a deft touch to be able to get that to Hagen in the center. Ooh.
Just for an update, the draft of the Dota 2 match between Wales and India is coming to an end. Unfortunately, I can't give you much information about it because, as I said before, we don't understand it too much. But hopefully once our third caster arrives and we get that game going, as Breezy puts another one in for the Welsh squad, we'll be able to give you more information about how that Dota 2 game is going.
So, another little goal coming on through from Wales. Just trying to keep that buffer alive is going to be nice here, because whilst best of fives are not the longest in Rocket League, right, you've got to make sure that you're keeping the mental high. Wales will want to keep leading the charge, making sure that India are a little bit uncomfortable having to always come back. So as long as they can keep a 2-goal barrier, they should pretty much be safe.
India now looking like they're a bit more settled into the series after that first game. Although they did get those 3 goals until the last minute, this second game hasn't looked the best out of them so far. Maybe still a few of those nerves coming out, but you know, they've travelled a long way, coming all the way from India to take part in the Commonwealth Esports Championships. I can't imagine how that plays on the mental. And now Wales on the attack again, but a great save coming out from Hagen.
Oh, I love that maneuver to recollect himself there. Tapo going crazy, looking for the flip reset of Breezy here, but not going to be able to get it. And Foxy providing the support. Again, that communication is so crucial here. Rishi's not going to be able to get up high enough. And Hagen, that's good cover. I thought that was going to be a runaway.
One minute left now into this game, or just under 1 minute, and this is exactly where India came to life in that last game. But Esports Wales on the attack once again, and Breezy with another goal into the game, and he's on fire.
He is, and you expect that. Breezy is the big name on this roster. I know Tapo also equally massive, but Breezy is the star player. He is the flair player, and so there's going to be a lot of weight on his shoulders to be able to dig deep when it's needed. Of course, when you've got Tapo on your squad alongside Foxy, those two can near enough kick it as a duo. Leaving Tadpole out on his own, it means they're given a lot of support, and there's a lot of flexibility to this roster if the going gets tough.
Esports Wales keeping in control on this defense now. Tadpole with the touch up. Breezy trying to get to it. Over to Foxy on the left side of the field, and it fizzles out into nothing. Looks like it's going to be 2-0 to Wales in the series without doubt. Can India get one consolation goal? Oh, just wide of the post.
That would have been a beautiful opportunity, but not enough to send it into OT. 2-0 to Wales now. This is looking like it's creeping towards that 3-0, which Wales would love, you know, be able to go take a break, go chill in the green room whilst they wait for their matches later on today. I do actually have to quickly check. They've got Canada coming up later on today here, Jake, and I mean, that's a squad which is also a powerful contender. J-Comp and Spoods, 3 notorious Canadian players, probably not at the tip-top level, again, like we said, RLCS going on, but are going to be feared solid nonetheless. The same as the players coming in from Australia, Kaka, Shores, and Finn. So a lot of the Commonwealth nations here have got powerful squads where really just making it out of Group B, this is the group of death. You know, all 4 of these teams should realistically be contenders to make it to playoffs, but only 2 can make out a group.
Yeah, if Wales win this game up against India, it's very much going to be likely that they will make it out of their group. Looking at the standings from yesterday, Wales obviously being top after their win against England. Oh, eventually getting into the game. There we go. Observer having a few issues.
I've just looked at the group. England's hopes will be relying upon Wales's performance later on today against Canada, because England naturally losing to us puts us in the best position. I think this match should all but put us safe if we get the 3-0 right. Yeah. It just comes down to how we play against Canada later, because England, you'd expect them to go on and do the 3-0 up against India as well, but they put themselves in a bad position by basically losing to us. They did take down Canada 3-0. That's fair enough, which gives me a lot of hope, I'm not going to lie. Because, like we said, looking at this squad, they're very well put together. We've taken down England. We should be able to then move on, take down Canada. Fair enough. But it's just coming down to, it's a different day. You know, Rocket League is always one of those where it's how you're feeling on the day, like most esports, where it's all skill dependent. A little bit of communication thrown on top, of course, to really tie the knot and put it all together. But if they're feeling it today, England will be scary, can take down Canada, and the same can be said for Canada against us. So we just got to see how that rolls about later on.
Just about 1:30 gone into this first game. No goals yet. India looking dangerous on the attack, but Breezy on the defense snuffs that goal out with, or the attempted goal out with ease. And a nice little defensive play coming out from India, putting Wales back onto the back foot and needing to put up another aggressive passing play.
India are a little bit too spaced on their attack here. There's a little bit too much time between the players. That's where Wales are able to easily sort of step on in and dismantle the plays. We're not necessarily playing faster. I think the pace is fairly even between the 2 squads. It's just the connections are a little bit cleaner.
Oh, and this could be an opportunity, but it's too far wide. Tadpole with the save coming out as well, just to ensure that ball wasn't going anywhere near. Rushley now down to... Oh, cut out though by, I think it was Breezy once again.
India really getting aggressive here as well. They're not allowing Breezy and Tadpole into their own half. Foxy definitely having to take a little bit more of a midfielder role here. Notice trying to connect it up. Not able to finish that one off. It will rattle the post. But looking to set this one up. Not going to be able to get the bump across the net. Finally, Tadpole coming up through with the sink.
Esports Wales taking the lead once again. Keep coming out with that slip. It's because there's Esports Wales on the shirt in the background. It keeps catching me out. Once again, taking the lead into this series.
No one's going to have an issue with it. I think you're fine. Don't worry. Everyone's just excited for all this because this is a strong squad. Like I said, going from day to day, it can really change up in Rocket League, and they're looking on fine form here.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be that easy 3-0. That we did have chats about in the pre-game before we came onto stream, being caught out by the game starting a little bit early. But hey ho, we should be, once this game is over, if we do take it 3-0 convincingly, then we will be moving over to the Dota and trying to figure out what's going on over there. It looks like the game, it seems to be having some issues right now, just waiting on the players to get started. We can just quickly have a look, and Breezy with another one. Looks like the players are just waiting around, waiting to start the game, and actually, there we go. It's might be starting to get underway, or I think the observer's just having a little fun looking at all of those champions.
I was going to say, it looks like an admin pause right now for them, and the players
Something's
are just
broken.
Someone's I was about to say someone's controller not working. That's a normal Rocket League thing, but of course you don't get that in Dota, do you? It's all mouse and keyboard.
Yeah,
I'd love to
someone
see
would.
someone step. Yeah, someone steps up. Oh, too many inputs for that game.
Definitely.
But you said earlier about in the pre-show, we thought this would be an easy 3-0 for Wales. I don't think it's been so easy. India have been a very good start to the day. Like, whilst, yes, 3-0 is crazy good, and we would like a little bit more Rocket League action because, we're both big fans.
Yes.
India's the perfect warm-up for that Canada match later. You've got confidence in the team now, and they have been tested. They cannot make glaring faults. They cannot make those mistakes, otherwise India will pounce. And you can see defense like that coming on out. India are ready for the simple attacks. Wales have to come on through with more complex team plays to really be able to best them.
I mean, yeah, we may have said, well, I may have said it was going to be convincingly in the form of Wales, but even looking at the scores, it's not been plain sailing. Game 1, 5-3. It's not exactly like they dominated. 4-1 even isn't the best scoreline, but some of the scorelines we've seen in the Women's Rocket League yesterday, we're not going to talk about them, but it ended up being roughly 34-0 after 3 games. But that's it. Esports Wales taking the victory 3-0 in this series, and let's just come back and have a look at our cameras before we move over to the Dota. They can talk me through that series.
So, pretty simply, India coming on through, just trying to push. They're on the comeback. They lost 3-0 to Canada yesterday, so they really had to come out and give it their all today just to get back into this. No one wants to go out fourth in the group, but as I said earlier, Group B was the group of death. You look over towards A with Australia, Team Well Connected, which essentially is Team South Africa. You've got Jamaica and Kenya. Now, South Africa's got a pretty solid squad there in basically the third team coming on through from South Africa, but Jamaica and Kenya aren't really known for Rocket League prowess, and Australia, like I said, strong team coming in from pretty much the third, fourth best players within that Australian region. When you look at Kaka, the teams come from Kaka's minions, they're really putting in damage over in OCE, but you would expect Australia, and then it's more of that wildcard pick. Who's going to get out? That's where the interest comes from in Group A. Whereas in Group B, like I said, just anyone's game here. We were expecting England to be able to come out on top, but I mean, Wales did a pretty good job yesterday to dash any hopes, I think.
Hey, let's jump over to the women's Dota, because their draft has also started. They're facing off against Australia, so I'd say Bacon, talk me through this draft, but I think you're as lost as I am.
There are some champions, right? It's champions in Dota, right?
I don't know. Smico, are you here?
Yeah. We need Smico to come on in. From my, let's say, limited knowledge of Dota, these are pretty standard picks, of course. We're expecting the standard, 2 bottom lane, 2 mid lane, 1 top lane coming on through if you're coming from the Radiant side, but that's pretty much it. We shouldn't expect to see anything too crazy and out of place in a tournament like this. You might get a couple of meme builds, but no one really wants to forsake their nation for a meme, do they?
Yes, indeed. The men's Dota is also still seems to be in an admin pause. Again, you can see the players there just chilling out, having a chat, just waiting to get the game going. And at this rate, it seems like the women's Dota might be underway before the men's.
I really wonder what's going on over there for the men's game. Like, what's holding that on up? Because it's definitely a technical issue of some sort. And, we've got great staff on hand to be able to get that back up and running. But you don't want anyone to be playing at, I don't want to say a lesser experience, but, a compromised experience. When you're coming to this, like I said, the pride of your nation on your shoulders, you want to be able to represent them the best you can, and we're supporting that.
Yeah. Hopefully, after the performances that we seen yesterday coming out from Wales in the Dota, it wasn't exactly the best for us. We had a loss against England in the men's. That was quite dominating, but again, their English squad has the likes of T Governor, if you've heard of him. He's a very well-known Dota caster. I think he took a little bit of a step back and was mainly, you know, IGLing for that team yesterday. But they had us all over the place, and yeah, it was over in no time. And it was the same, unfortunately, for the women's. We're 0-2 in the women's right now, so there is a possibility of, you know, if we win these final 2 games, we could qualify. But
10 seconds remaining.
we would have to be very, very good in the performance that we put up yesterday. It was strong. It was strong against England, but they came out on top, and it actually looks like we're underway in the men's game. So let's jump over there.
So stepping on to this one, Dota is, like you said, probably the most complex of all the MOBAs, and requires a lot of concentration. We were looking at that bottom lane for a moment, and it's also a lot of communication coming on through, because you'll notice a lot of basically 2 champions right next to each other, and it's all about connecting up. You'll see throwing out, when Smico comes along later, throwing out carries and supports. Essentially, your carries are the ones you want to get beefy. You want to be able to slay it and take part in the duels. The supports are near enough there to enable your teammate to be able to basically win the fight. And that's, I want to say, a great difference compared to every other esport there is, in that you have to be a player that's purely facilitating one of your teammates. You know, you're not there for the glory of yourself, you're there for the glory of the team, and that's like a cool little aspect to this. But as these 2 teams are just waiting for the bounty to spawn in center there, going to get a nice little team fight, I think.
It looks like Wales are already on the back foot. Cook trying to get away, and Evil Ash getting the first blood for Team India. Now Wales just looking to back off and not give up any more of those kills and any more of that sweet goal to the opposition team. But Volition doing his best, but he's got 2 players following him, HBK and Ash, and they're trying to cut him off by going down rather than... Oh, Volition walks straight back into Ash. He's actually
Again,
taking
just trying
this
to
fight.
take it. Yeah, trying to take out the support there, get a little bit of XP. And of course, Cook's going to look to just, be hidden in the trees, come out. And yeah, you can see Ash is just like, no, run away. Don't want to be involved in that one. Don't want to drop here.
So we've got Neb, it seems like, on mid, trying to just take down these creep waves and push his minions further towards the opposition. Towers die now, taking a fight up against Madness towards top lane, I think. If that map is very small, it's very hard to see. Usually that would be made a little bit bigger, but hey-ho, we're not in control of these observers, so if we randomly disappear onto the other side of the map, we do apologise, but we do not have control.
Yeah, so for those at home that, I don't know, might have been tuned on in for the Rocket League and a little bit like us, or a little clueless to Dota, I guess, you'd be looking at basically bottom lane being the safe lane for Radiance. That's the green side, where they're going to have 2 there, and they're going to look to keep pushing. That's going to be where they near enough do a lot of their damage from, and try and move up from that bottom lane as well as the mid lane. And then it's near enough mirrored on over, so the Dyers, the red squad, will be looking to have their safe lane up the top side. And you'll notice it just comes down from those tower placements. If you look towards that map, the squares that are dotted along their lanes, that's essentially where their towers are, and that's the objective. You want to basically keep destroying those in order to push to your opponent's side.
Still only the 1 kill coming out into the game so far, in the favour of India. Wales still looking to just poke around on this bottom lane, trying to see where they can possibly get a pick and get that 1 kill lead back to 0. Cook and Volition. Cook now getting tanked down. TP's away? Yes, TP's back to home base, I think.
Again, you can, if you look at the little bar towards the bottom with your HP, your mana and all of that, you notice there's a scroll just down bottom right, with a little number 1 right here for Tiny, where, where You can use that. You can't be stunned out of it, I do believe, unless there is literally an immobility move on you. But regular attacks won't be able to knock you out of that TP. You just got to get that timing right to teleport back to base. Then, of course, get your HP up there.
Not too much action coming out in this game so far, but as most people will know, that's exactly what happens in these style of games. Teams will wait, they'll start building up their items and start beefing up their own champions and just getting to that point as to where they feel they can take those engagements. But a Volition going down to Ashe and HBK, and now Ashe on 2 kills into the game. We've actually seen a 3rd kill somewhere across the board. Missed out on that one. That may have been Cook going down on bottom lane, because I know he was here not too long ago after that teleport back to base.
I think that also comes down to like the level we're at here, where you're not at the very tip top, you're at more like ranked warriors, aren't you, when it comes to the top here, and great players nonetheless. But I think it's just coming down to when you get the very tip top competition, they don't want to compromise themselves, so you don't get these early picks. But to be honest, Jake, like, that's a little bit boring. We like this sort of like randomized action going on and the ambition coming out from these players. So you can see Cook there is just having a few little thoughts, of course, looking to get the denials on his own creeps so that HBK can't get the experience and, of course, the gold from that. But it's just about managing these creeps and making sure that your opponents can't really get juiced up, because we shouldn't really be seeing fights until about level 7, should we?
No, you are correct in that, and you know, everyone's sitting around 4 and 5. Die and Madness there you see on level 2, so not too much coming out in the form of them. But Iggy now getting caught out. LFT and Madness now pushing on towards trying to get that kill, and No Chance does take him down. And that's another kill in the favour of India.
That top lane coming on through for India is actually really powerful right now. Having 2 players over there, though, is the interesting part. India not, and actually both sides really just leaving only 1 player on that mid lane and looking to push it. Naturally, for Wales, that's going to be in response to India there, who are really looking to push up. They do have to get away from that tower, of course, because the tower does so much damage. In response, you can see Wales, don't know who that is up on the top left, looking to just creep 1 player on through to just get a little bit of damage back.
Seems to be Iggy, but are they going to get caught out again? They lost the last fight, and it looks like they're going to get 2v1 once again. Iggy now taking all that damage, and No Chance once again taking him down, and that's another kill in the top lane for this Indian squad. And you can see by the last hits on the left-hand side, it's mainly this India team that are towards that top.
Well, but Neb in center, running that mid lane, is being able to keep up on par with the rest of this Indian squad. Of course, we talked earlier about, you know, India really being more into mobile games. They're also big on Dota, of course, right? Because it's a game that is so well optimized and can run on a lot of computers that we do see a lot of Indian players favoring this over more modern titles.
Wales really look like they're struggling to get a foot into the game. Volition now trying his best to escape, running back past the tower, hoping that the tower will offer the support that he needs. And we run away from that fight as Volition does fall to evil Ashe.
One die, having to get out of dodge again, being chased on down by No Chance. Looking to just break that line of sight. The creeps though are getting dragged off. You look on around here, Iggy's going for these neutral creeps and just basically looking to farm up even more XP, even more gold, so they can buy items and get even more powerful. We see the Tumbler's Toy coming on out for Iggy, so a little bit of a movement speed increase.
Just a bit of an update, the women's game versus Australia has kicked off. We'll stop by and check in with that one every so often to see how they're doing. Maybe they'll be doing a little bit better than the men's squad right here up against the Indians, but we'll see how that game goes on. And actually, that's already been a first blood over there. Let me just have a look in the full screen and see who that was. Actually going towards the Australian squad, so The women's team also looking like they're not off to the best of starts in that game.
Again, when it comes down to MOBAs, we see these are long affairs, right? We're probably looking at this to be about 30 odd minutes. So the match could even go higher, right? Dota 2 is not afraid of going. I want to say some of the records are in like an hour and a half, aren't they? You know? Yeah. We're not in that current meta right now, which is good, but essentially this could go on for a while, and there's a lot of comeback mechanics. When you lose a tower, you'll get a little bit more farm, thus you should be able to get that XP back up. So it's not all doom and gloom. Sure, the early game here has gone to India and looks to keep going to India, but Wales can definitely get a comeback later on down the line.
And Wales actually picking up their first kill of the game. Volition taking down HBK, and he's actually still looking to take this fight onto Evil Ash.
Up towards this though, Abby has got that double damage coming on out, picked up the rune, so here's a massive threat. But look at this, Iggy being able to do damage back, and even sending India back to up towards the top lane. They are a little bit worried. It's because Abby here being on that level 8 will give so much XP on over, but deadly.
That was naughty. All three of them just coming in on top of Cock there and just melting his HP down, and HPK actually getting revenge onto Volition as Abby picks up Die in the top lane as well, or in mid rather.
India again just keep on extending their lead, and a lot of what Dota is about is more vision. You can see here like how much you can see. Right now we're in a night cycle, so you get day and night cycles every 5 minutes, and at night your vision, the range you can see out to, is massively reduced. On top of that, of course, you've got all the trees that block your cover. Not only can you not see people in the trees, but the opposite side of the trees. So you've got to be sort of going with your expectations, predicting where your opponents are, whilst also at the same time trying to juke them. You know, you're trying to like come in with a flank, a little bit of an assassination attempt. So there's a lot going on in the mental. But looking at that net worth towards the left, there is chance to come on back, but we need to start getting rid of those heavy hitters.
And that's exactly what Wales are looking to do here, opting to try and take that 2v1, but no chance being level 5. I feel like he'd easily be able to tank that and probably put Wales down. 14-1 kills. 6k gold lead for India. Hook here, just wanting to get back to base, drawing those minions away from trying to push the lane.
No Chance is basically the heavy hitter right now. I'd love to see Iggy and Die be able to push up and take them down, but Madness going invisible there is just getting a little bit of scout report in, tells No Chance, you know, look, Iggy's here, let's just remove him. But fair play coming in from Die. Iggy as well, trying to chase on up for the kill. Can he remove No Chance? No Chance putting on the stun, trying to get it away. Coming in Volition now, that level 5 not going to be able to do enough damage, and so it looks like it's going to have to be a step away. And yeah, Die getting the call as well. Volition does not want to be removed, and it's so close. Wales just need like a couple of extra seconds, don't they, it feels like.
Yeah, that really could have been the play to try and get Wales back into this game. This game being a best of 1, just for anyone that may not know, it's one and done. And Wales really on the back foot right now. But if that play would have gone the opposite way, it may have been the one that Wales needed to actually get back into this game. India just looking formidable.
Oh yeah, India like have really impressed me here, and it's more because Wales were not a bad shout for this. Of course, like I said, results yesterday not the best, but you go away in the evening, you talk to your teammates, you basically tighten the screws, get things back in order. But this India squad is just stellar, and you've got to show respect to them.
Over on the side of the women's Dota now, we hop over to there quickly. We can quickly see a team fight that's just broken down. It's not as bad for Wales in this one so far, but We know that some of these Welsh women are very, very good at what they do in Dota, and Song being one of them, very well known for what she does across the social medias and whatnot.
Having a look at this one as well, 7 minutes into the game, so definitely more respect in this one between the two squads where they're not going all out for kills, they're just looking more for the farm and not get too involved. But if you look here, Poodlin trying to get in on Kit, yeah, that's a wise, just walk it away, don't get involved in a fight you can't win.
And actually, a tech pause came in right after I came over to this team, to this game, so it was kind of perfect timing, really. One of the players on India are having a mouse issue, so we're just getting that investigated by the tech team. Hopefully it won't take too long, and then we can jump back over to that game between Wales and India in the Men's Dota Open.
Again, Australia being fierce here, even being able to pick up the runes. Wales, to me, look like there's too much of a focus coming on through on the lanes, and you can see that's now trying to be alleviated with a little push, as you look on the map, towards the jungle there, just looking to try and pick up runes themselves. But they've got to be careful, because Australia have transitioned back to the lanes. Big bout going on up towards that top left-hand side. That tower's just been left free.
Yeah, still waiting that pause on the men's to get back underway. Once we do, we'll jump over to that one and hopefully see whether Wales are able to mount a comeback. They did gain an extra 2 kills just after we cut away, but now over in the women's, it looks like Nadia is going to go down, and all 4 of those players there just chiming in to take that kill and take the tower afterwards, it looks like.
Yeah, this is a big, aggressive push, trying to ruin that safe lane for the Dire squad of Wales, and that's risky. Wales are looking to respond by doing the exact same on the opposite end, but they just cannot get that amount of leverage down.
Now it looks like the Welsh game in the other Dota tournament is back underway, so let's hop back over to that just after this team fight dissolves. And it looks like it just has, so let's jump over there and quickly see another kill go in the favour of Team India. I regret cutting back.
We're bad luck, I think, for this match, aren't we? 20-6. Wales, again, still not completely out of it. There should still be, you know, well over 20 more minutes of gameplay here. But as I'm looking, is that top tower been removed over on the Dire side? It looks like it. Over on the actual Dire side, over on their off lane, that looks like that's also been removed for Wales. So Wales right now need to be farming. They need to try and rush, get the experience back. You can see the fight coming on out here, but Neb has been removed. No chance now, looking to do damage to Volition, who just needs to get out of dodge, needs to just run it away, but no chance. Has got the speed to be able to catch up, and definitely got the damage. And oh, look at that little blip in.
I know you said there should be well over 20 minutes of gameplay remaining, but with how this game is going, it feels like it won't be as too long until we see India start pushing towards Wales's base and starting to take some of those final towers and final objectives.
Again, this is, like we said, more of a bit of a ranked warriors game at the top end, like still masterclass players, right? But they're seeing this now, and I wouldn't be surprised if India are like, right, we can try and rush this. Don't give them the time to get that farm up, try and get that XP, and I think that's in response here. You can see Cook is going deep. We've got a 3v2 here, and Cook's purposely trying to go in on the higher level to get as much XP and then turn in on the Ashe. But will they be able to get away? I don't know. Their head drops. Ashe, no chances. Again, the highest ranking player from India right now. Look at that net worth, 8,300. That's a lot of juicy XP, but just indomitable. Cannot be removed.
doing a bit of quick math, No Chance actually has basically half of the gold of the entire Wales team. Very close to half. So that just shows how dominating No Chance is being into this game. And, you know, there's all three of those Indian players, you know, up to very close behind him. It's not exactly like it's just No Chance hard carrying all three Indian players. No Chance, Madness, and I think it's HKB. All doing very well for this Indian squad and really showing Wales exactly what they're made of.
So Ab here is just taking the illusion room. So again, we're seeing them go on like these little assassination attempts. So looking to just step on in on Volition here, it would have been then. But Volition's been pretty smart to be able to get away. But oh, that is so much damage to come out. Again, that level difference, 14 compared to 8. Volition had no chance in that one when left alone, and Cook had to run. You know, naturally being the higher level, you don't want to give over even more experience. Cook being the carry there on the lane is the one to get away. You sort of, that's the role of the support, is to near enough try and safeguard them. You know, the get down Mr. President play.
Protect the President in Dota. Now I've seen everything.
That stun on Neb was killer, not being able to get the distance, and Volition once again, as soon as steps in, looking to help out on that mid lane and remove. India now have got that snowball rolling, and well, it's coming down the mountain.
I don't see this game lasting too much longer. India just ever edging towards the Welsh base. 3 players down on the Welsh side, and India are just going to use this to their advantage. Start taking down some more of those towers, pushing those minion waves forward.
I mean, you just saw it from the graphic there, right? Wales has got a 2% probability of winning, and now India are going on Roshan.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There is a chance. I mean, Wales would have to come in and snipe this, because of course the win, like the free respawn goes to whoever gets that final kill, right?
Yep.
So Wales aren't close enough right now. They don't know that that fight's going on. If they somehow get a little glimmer of, you know, get a little bit of insight into that, it could happen, but oh. That's Roshan down. Yep. So, HBK has that Aegis of Immortal. That is the free respawn. So, they will be looking to go in on big fights here. I'm wondering which lane that India are going to choose to come through. And, well, Wales have to respond accordingly, don't they?
Yeah, India seem to be about at the same point on all 3 lanes right now. So, they basically have the run of the mill. They can choose where they want to go and where they want to fight. Simply in their hands to take this game and really put the final stamp on it, I think. Wales just, unfortunately, nowhere near the level that India are putting out, and it's shown in this game.
India have got themselves in a good position on both the top lane and, of course, the bottom lane to be able to push around on. But that makes it hard for Wales to know which side that attack is coming through. It's looking like India are going to choose the top lane, what would have been the safe lane for Wales, and, well, really push the dagger on in.
RB once again taking another kill, but now he's getting dove by 3 of the Welsh players. He's down to just under half HP, and now he's just on the edge, but no, the Wales players can't keep up. India have come in for the support. Madness now very close to death, but Evil, Ash, and No Chance being here will really make these Wales players think twice about this attack, and that's exactly why No Chance double kill, mega kill streak. HPK coming in with another, and No Chance chasing down Neb. There's just nothing to say.
HBK, I think, has gone a little bit under the radar from us, because, look, they are pretty much up top there with No Chance, and it's been that dual action of really going for those duels. They'll now push on through to the 3rd tower and look to really sink it on in. I think this one is winding on down, Jake.
Yeah, not too long now until we probably will see the GG calls coming in from Wales. They'll keep fighting, they'll keep trying to do everything they can, but at this point you've got to be feeling pretty overwhelmed with how dominant and just insanely talented this Indian team have been.
So, of course, the creeps coming on through from India, looking to push on through towards the Ancient. Looks like India actually giving massive respect, pulling on out, knowing that it's not going to be won in this one play, so there is a chance. It's not happening, I'm sorry, but you know,
that 2% chance is now won.
Yeah, there's still that one more team play coming on in if Wales can, I don't know, pull out some sort of masterclass. You can see HBK stepping on up. If they can just all like barrel onto him, that's going to be a lot of XP. But yeah, HBK knowing that is just taking that step back.
Just so everyone is aware.
Go for Lishan.
Oh,
go
no.
on, just do it.
No, HBK with a teleport. Oh no. Okay, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
One player using the... Oh, he was going to use the buyback, I think, but opted out, and now only one player up for the Welsh squad. And just so everyone is aware that if Wales do lose this game, unfortunately, that will be the end of the men's run in the Dota Open, I think. Yes, correct. So, unfortunately, Wales losing this game means they will be out of the Commonwealth Esports Championship in the men's tournament. We do still have the potential of the women's team making it through in Dota. We'll be jumping over straight to that game once this one's finished, and I'd imagine we'll only be a couple of minutes until we're there.
Yeah. Can we get a little picture-in-picture action just to get a little bit of an update to see what they're at? So, yeah, 14-3 to Australia.
Not as big of a difference as it was in this game, but hopefully the women's team can start bringing a comeback that we were wishing would happen in this game.
Was looking towards Twitch channel as well, this 60, saying Australia running a pretty simple death ball composition, so perhaps a little bit easier for Wales to, should we say, dismantle, pick apart their strats and be able to counter in the late game.
India are just showing no respect right now.
Yeah.
Wales refused to call that GG, though. They're still wanting to take it all the way to the end.
You know, never surrender, right? You know, you gotta just keep fighting to the end, get your money's worth, whatever you want to call it, but surrendering? Nah. Not the way. Iggy got a big buff actually out of that fight, now up to 21. That 1% chance has now moved to 1.1% chance, I think.
Even that's pushing it.
Look, they're on the lanes again. They're completely removed, so...
They're out of base, which is good.
Yeah, they've been allowed to leave their bedrooms. It's great.
Again, for anyone that's joining, myself and Bacon don't have the greatest Dota knowledge, so this is mainly just us having a little bit of fun. You know, the game hasn't been the best for the Welsh squad either, so, you know, maybe this is the best outcome. I
mean, we can't win them all, right? Rocket League,
true.
We're absolutely stomping right now. It's great. But karma's got to come back around here, don't it?
This is India's revenge for us slapping them in Rocket League. Simple as that. They seen what happened in the Rocket League and they're like, right, okay, we've got to put these Welsh boys down. They're too cocky. We're not.
Is that why the game started so late? It was put on hold purely to what the players were watching Rocket League. All right, yeah, I get you. Yeah, fair. I can imagine Hargo moving on through to the Dota room later on, just giving like the fist bump to like, thank you for the revenge. Right, this has got to be the play, the push on through now, the finish it off, ain't it? Look at that. Moving on through towards the Ancient, not even going to need the creeps here, they're just going to look to finish it off themselves.
This is looking like it's going to be GG. Only one player up, being from Wales, and he's not even going to be attempting to take a fight.
Yeah.
I've just had word that unfortunately our player in the eFootball Open, he was actually already played, unfortunately. So we missed that game. We weren't told. He won. He won 2-1, so he's through to the finals. So we'll be seeing him take part in the playoffs later on this evening. And there we go, Team India taking that victory very convincingly, 60-15. Yeah, that was painted in the stars from the get-go, I feel, from how well Team India performed.
Like we said, it's okay. We've got Rocket League and eFootball here. Dota is just unfortunately where the karma has to come back and bite us. But bringing up that eFootball, yeah, I thought that was going on later on today, and we'd be covering that. 2-1's not in favor. Who were we playing against in that matchup?
Let me just double check. It was New Zealand.
Fair play then.
So we are through to the semi-final in the eFootball Open. So we'll be finding out who we're playing hopefully very soon. We're also through to the semi-finals in the eFootball Women's as well. So, you know, we're through to the playoffs in 3 out of 6. So 50%, that's pretty good, I'd say.
Yeah, solid work today. So we'll be looking to bring that match up later. The eFootball Women's will be against England later on today at 3 o'clock, I do believe, for the semi-finals. And then over on the opposite end, it'll be up against the winner of Northern Ireland and Kenya in the finals. If we can push on through to that, should be a stellar match there.
Actually, it seems there's a bit of an update on the Northern Ireland Kenya. Kenya was supposed to be showing up today. They had a few visa issues, which meant they had to push back their arrival by a day. And their flight has been delayed, and they can no longer make it in time to play their game. So Northern Ireland have a bye through to the final and playoffs, final day of the Commonwealth Esports Championship in the arena.
It's all right for some, ain't it? Of course, unfortunate for Kenya, because you hate that when it's not in your own control. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. And Australia already in Wales' base.
Yeah, they have rushed this something rotten, and I think this will be done in the next few minutes as
Actually,
well.
this game has gone longer than the males.
Has it?
Males ended at about 25 minutes.
Oh, it's because the males had
a
the tech
couple of
pause,
tech
didn't
pauses,
they?
yeah,
that's
that's
why.
right.
So it caught up, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, the women's Dota 2, I think if they lose this, most likely not going to be able to qualify. In fact, yeah, not going to be able to qualify. So they will have one more game against Singapore later on, hopefully at 12:45, where they can play for a little bit of respect and, you know, hopefully they can go home with a win under their belt, you know, to give them a little bit of confidence and not to feel like this was a wasted opportunity. But either way, putting your name into a tournament like this and even having the confidence to take part is a good opportunity. I'm actually getting information that we can qualify if we beat Singapore, which is actually true. The top 4 teams from Dota Women's go through.
Okay, so I think, yeah, everyone's going to have to be coming back to support later on for that. What was it, 12:45 you said?
12:45.
What other games do we have on the docket here for today? Because we're going to be bringing a lot of Welsh esports action, aren't we?
Yep, so following this, we should be jumping into the... should have been the eFootball.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, because that got took early. So once this game is over, hopefully we should shortly be into the Wales versus Scotland Women's Rocket League game. So I'll just double check on what's happening with that one and see whether we can see anything happening.
Good. As I just go looking over towards that squad, I do believe the Scottish Women's Rocket League squad is a powerful roster.
Yes.
Got a little bit of insight, and yeah, the heavy favourites for this. Definitely with a lot of the Women's Rocket League pros coming on through there from teams like BS Plus competition, and they're a scary threat.
Yeah, it was the same with the English team. You know, they got the basically, well, from what Hyferia and Muntz were saying yesterday, they're basically a WCBC powerhouse team, and that is GG. Australia taking the victory convincingly over Wales. They do still have that chance to qualify if they beat Singapore. We'll have to come back at 12:45 and see whether that happens.
So, did you get to see anything going on in that Rocket League matchup?
Unfortunately, not yet. So we'll most likely at some point take a break, and then we'll come back once that game starts. But predictions for that game against Scotland. They did play England yesterday. They managed to actually score against England, which Wales didn't. So, you know, that could be something to come. A bit of a premonition, so to say. But what do you think about that game coming up?
So looking up, again, when it comes to Women's Rocket League, it is very NA focused, should we say, right now with the initiative. We are going to see that come on over to Europe, and we're starting to see some of these players. Like, the Women's Rocket League players are incredibly cracked, considering they have had to play over on NA servers as well, like, you know, US East. So massive respect. That is why England are feared. And we are going to see Women's Rocket League, not only just Rocket League, but of course the whole of esports, like we're seeing here at the Commonwealth Esports Championships, really evolve as the years go on. But right now, we're going to be putting a lot of weight on Pixie's shoulders, I think, and that's a lot of pressure here going up against Scotland when you've got Soph there. Geordie's, we've known as a content creator and a streamer, up there, very high Grand Champ levels, and the unknown third coming on through Battle Diamond level should be the one where we look to pick apart, but it's going to be more about a strategic game for Wales here, but definitely Scotland the favourites there.
Yeah, and that game will be coming our way in roughly 20 minutes. I've been told that game is looking to start on schedule, so what we'll do is we'll take a short break, allow you guys to go away, get some food, get a drink, and chill out for a little bit, and then we'll be back to bring you, hopefully, Wales versus Scotland in the Rocket League Women's of the Commonwealth Esports Championship. We'll see you shortly.
Come on over if you wanna have a good time. No more playing around, but now's the time to cross the line. Show me what's inside that soul, I'll let you feel mine. Come on, let's let our mind and bodies intertwine. 'cause it's mine.
Wanna hold me like you used to, but I keep saying we're done. Guess this meant more to you than I thought. I needed you just for fun. Ooh, I kinda like it, this game you play of catch and release. Ooh, I wanna try it, to let you come on closer to me. So I say, my mama told me not to lie to you, but I think that I'm hopeless. My mama told me to play nice with you, but I just can't seem to focus. You try to tell me that you need me, but that just feels like a place. You think you like me, but the real me ain't someone you wanna chase. Ooh, I kinda like it, this game you play of catch and release. Ooh, I wanna try it, to let you come on closer to me. So I say, my mama told me not to lie to you, but I think that I'm hopeless. My mama told me to play nice with you, but I just can't seem to focus. My mama told me not to lie to you, but I think that I'm hopeless. My mama told me to play nice with you, but I just can't seem to focus. I'm playing games in my head, trying to get your attention. All the words that you said, I get lost inside your inflections. I let you stay on my mind, taking up all of my focus. Am I just wasting my time? I know it's too good to ignore it. Oh, nah, 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 no, I can't let this go. Oh, nah, 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 no, waiting on you like I need it. Oh, nah, 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 no, I can't take it slow. Oh, nah, 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 no, ain't no way to stop this feeling. Think I'll lose my mind, loving you from silence. Honey, on my mind, open ocean eyes. Nobody's gonna love you the way that I do. Honey, on my mind, wanna look at it come to life. Nobody's gonna love you the way that I do. take it slow. Nah, 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 no. Ain't no way to stop this feeling. Think I'll lose my mind, loving you from sidelines. Honey, on my mind, open ocean eyes. Nobody's gonna love you the way that I do. Honey, on my mind, one look and it come to life. Nobody's gonna love you the way that I do. Somebody like you, somebody like you. I just wanna find somebody like you, somebody like you, somebody like you. Someone to belong, something to hold on to, find a heart that feels like home. I just wanna find somebody like you, somebody like you, somebody like you. I just wanna find, 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 I just wanna find somebody like you. Somebody like you. I just wanna find somebody like you, somebody like you, somebody like you. I just wanna find somebody like you, somebody like you, somebody like you. Someone to belong, something to hold on to, find a heart that feels like home. I just wanna find somebody like you, somebody like you, somebody like you. I just wanna find, 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 I just wanna find somebody like you. Somebody like, I just wanna find somebody like you, somebody like you, somebody like you. I just wanna find somebody like you, somebody like you, somebody like you. hard to explain it. My heart is racing, and I can't take it anymore. I just want you around me, kissing me softly. Our bodies taking control. When you look at me, it's hard to breathe. It's ecstasy. The way you feel me, I have no control. When you're touching me, it's hard to leave. It feels so free. It's an awakening. Just don't let go.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the EsportsWales Twitch channel. We're already underway with the Women's Rocket League now. Wales being in the blue, Scotland being in the orange, and 30 seconds in and it's all tied up.
Yeah, looking at this now again, it looks like Scotland should be a favour on this, but with tournaments like this, you can get a couple of little upsets, a couple of wild cards thrown in. I think Wales definitely are a wild card to be able to upset the chances, but that just means they need a little bit more support, I think, here, Jake.
Yeah, I think we're mainly going to be looking towards Pixie Poppins from this Welsh squad. She performed probably the best in the matchup against England yesterday, but if anyone did miss that, it was a battering. You didn't miss much. I think it was 11-0, 12-0, 12-0, so. And Scotland taking the early lead.
Yeah, Stephen coming on through. So otherwise, they've been known throughout Rocket League for a long time there. I mean, the point proof in the pudding, the ESL Monthly Elite, which hasn't been handed out for 4 or 5 years now.
Wow, that is old.
Yep. I remember casting like grassroots community tournaments when they were just coming up through the scene, and yeah, a long-term player, and I love being able to still kick it at the very top, and we're talking the top of Rocket League, some of these players on the Scotland squad.
Speaking of the Scotland squad, taking the second goal into this first game, looking comfortable. Jordis with a nice shot into that top right-hand corner, assisted by Scottish Kells.
Oh, the Scotland squad. It is very scary facing off against them, and at the end of the day, Wales, this is more about the learning step. You're going up against some of the best in Rocket League, and you just keep on going up one step at a time, learning how to play. And I think that's probably the way Pixie is looking at this one. Like, where can I improve my game? Because the Scottish squad will be looking to pull them apart in every area.
Yeah, Wales now just looking to see if they can get a foothold onto this game. They don't want to let it get away from them like they did with the England games yesterday. Ken win them with a nice demo onto Stephen, and that's just another goal for Jordis. Unfortunately, none of the defence being able to get back to that in time. Yeah, it was Scry attempting... Oh no, it wasn't Scry, sorry. It was Pixie, unfortunately. I don't think she had the boost to get there in time there.
Again, we're trying to meet them on sort of like similar terms, going for big, just solo plays. And if you're going to go for that, you need to communicate it to your teammates. And the issue right here coming on through for the Wales squad is just having 3 players that are all at different points of the game, at different points on the rank ladder. And so what you expect your teammates to do, or what you're used to your teammates to do, isn't just going to come on through. So you've got to really communicate it concisely, cleanly to each other, and this is where chemistry and being able to adapt to each other comes out in its fullest.
Yeah, I think I remember one of the boys saying yesterday that one of the players on the Esports Wales team is gold, one being diamond, one being high GC.
Yeah, Scry, of course, the gold player there coming on through, Pixie being that mid-champ sort of area. And then our third coming on through is about mid-diamond, so massive jumps in rank between the 3 of them, but of course a great learning experience for the 3 of them.
Yeah, I mean, even with that rank disparity coming through, they did put on a good performance up against the Kenyan team yesterday. Pixie Poppins with a great save there. Kenwen trying to take the ball forward. Dispossessed and Scry putting up the wall, sets up Steeman on the attack. Pixie not able to get a touch to clear it away. That touch from the Scottish team just wide of the goal. Stephen faking 2 out. Pixie, though, reading the fake and coming in with a second challenge.
We were talking about groups of death for the men's squad, of course, but over in the women's squad, it's the exact same deal. When you've got England and Scotland together in the same group, they're the 2 favourites, not only to push on through and win in the group, but also win the tournament overall. And Wales having to face both of them is a little bit disheartening in its own rate. But like you said, getting that all-important win over Kenya, that just means you're not going out 0-3. You can be proud of yourself and the performance they're doing. I think as we look at this series, it's going to be about getting a game, looking to come back during the latest stages, and see where they can evolve and improve.
We are seeing some nice defensive plays coming up from the Welsh squad. It's not exactly like they're being battered like it was in the English game yesterday. They're actually managing to hold off, and Pixie with that nice save coming out to stop that 6th goal going in.
And I think that's the team just adapting here, where at the start they were like, okay, right, we go end to end, we near enough try and match them. And then the realization that, okay, we can't really do that. We focus on the defense, and then we'll try and get cheeky runaways when we can. And that's starting to show itself to be more fruitful.
Yeah, just under 45 seconds now to go in this final game. Well, in this final minute of this first game of the series. And Jordis now being set up off the save from Pixie, but Pixie being able to get there with a second. And then, unfortunately, Scottish Kells not being able to make a connection. And now Scotland can't hit the net, and they've been coming in with that final blow. 6-0 to the Scottish team in this first game.
Yeah, that's a clean finish, gotta be said. Just taking that risk assessment, turning on back on in the finish it off, and just a clean game coming on through from Scotland so far. So they will be leading by 6-0. 20 seconds left to go. And this is the moment where the Welsh team will be looking at each other and going, right, that's fine. We know damage is done. Probably were saying this about a minute ago as well, don't get me wrong. But just saying, right, where do we improve going to the next 2? Where do we want to take this? And for me, I think that defense definitely showing itself, but it's just got to be communication, not overstepping each other, being careful on that boost with the bat boost, not taking it away from each other, and just looking to make sure that everyone's on even footing for the squad.
Yeah, going into the second game, the Welsh team should be able to adjust to the playstyle of Scotland and being able to figure out what they need to do in order to put up more of a fight moving forward in this series. There we see the Welsh girls all calm and collected with coach in the background, scrubbing off the whiteboard. There's his notes gone. Let's see what they can do moving forward into the second game of this series.
Yeah, so players just getting them ready, and I'm wondering what the talks are going to be between the players right now and where they're looking to improve. I think I want to see demos come on out just to sort of alleviate a lot of the pressure, whether that is onto Stephen or Geordie's there. Kel coming on through, we've seen them naturally again in a similar sort of sense, like we said with our squad, having that difference level, that sort of bordering plat diamond for them. We want to sort of leave them feeling quite pressured where they've got to pick up the slack on the squad. And I would personally probably go through with Geordies to remove out the squad there. The one of the duo coming on through as the stronger player, and then just see if they unfold. If not, then you change on over and sort of cycle through the team on who's going to be the focus of pressure.
Well, just waiting on that second game to get underway, and it looks like now the players are joining the match. So let's jump back in to see whether Wales can do anything into the second game of the series. Hopefully, maybe, you know, adjusting that game plan and seeing what they can do to stop this Scottish squad from dominating as hard as they have.
Stephen with the pass on out, and Kel's going to receive that. That is a pretty play. Again, that's coming down to the communication. We had 3 players clustered on up, and as such, we had players in position, sure, but it was everyone expecting each other to go for it, and then at the end it was like oh no, we need to jump, and just not particularly ready.
Oh, the bump coming out on the back line actually bumps Pixie into the second touch. Works out in the end, and there we go. We're already seeing Sky getting aggressive, trying to bump off the Scottish defenders before the Welsh attack commences. Cameron now with it in the corner actually plays out in their favour, and now Scry trying to get to this ball, but Stephen will beat them to it. Scry with a 50 puts it onto Cameron's bumper, and it fizzles out into another defensive play from Wales.
Yeah, Stephen, they're just really difficult to get past. Geordie's going to look to set this on up. Oh, actually thinking of it. That was an interesting point there. Would have been able to get the back pass to keep possession, but a little bit greedy. The disrespect coming through from Scotland, and you can see as soon as they do give that disrespect, they don't have the space. So it's a lot closer than what it might look on paper. Like, Scotland are having to go above and beyond with very phenomenal plays.
Geordie's now on that attack. Pixie trying to get a touch on it, unfortunately not enough to put it wide. Scotland 2-0 up in this second game of the series. Welsh squad not looking disheartened though. Still smiles on the faces.
Yeah, that's just a simple timing thing right there with the dodge coming on out from Pixie, where unfortunately you've got dodge in towards your net, which of course means you're angling towards your own net, right? So it's just about, if they could have got there a couple of milliseconds sooner, then they would have been able to dislodge it. But here, this is a power play and a half. What an angle that is.
Yeah, just not stopping that if you've not got the read on that bounce. And admittedly, probably at this level of play from the Welsh squad, they wouldn't have had that read. Quite a tough one to actually get to grips on. And now Stephen with another one, putting it around Kenwen, and Pixie not being able to get there with the second man defense.
Well, again, we talk about the rank disparity when it comes to your own team in a play, but when you've got players like Scry coming on this, they have never experienced, plays like that coming out. So, like you said, coming off the wall, how do you expect your opponent to go for that? You're trying to think above and beyond, and sometimes it can just get all confusing. You're throwing yourself into positions and rotations which aren't comfortable, and it's just all about trying to just calm yourself down and keep the mental for the game.
Yeah, Stephen with another nice aerial play there, putting it to the corner for themselves, and Pixie Poppins reading that off the wall, getting a nice clear. They're going to be able to... Oh, the double commit coming out, and Pixie just staying back, knowing, okay, I've got to be the last line of defense. Let's let the other two just run around and see whether they can get any 50s going the way, and maybe I can lost my train of thought.
But no, that's the right play to do right now. Pixie is definitely the strongest defender out of the lot, so trying to work is maybe that hard back, whilst in normal terms for Rocket League isn't a wise choice. In this sort of case where you know when your two teammates are going to rotate on in, you're giving yourself a foundation. Then your third is sort of cheating upfield, you know, always lingering about the midfield line, ready to receive a clearance, which they could turn into a very cheeky counter-attack.
Hemwen now with the touch off the corner, trying to put it central to see if there's anything that Wales can do with it. Unfortunately, Scry not being able to beat the defender to the ball. Geordie's putting it off the bottom corner. Scotland opting not to actually chase that ball, and Scottish Kells with a nice shot, but Pixie Poppins once again with a save. No second or third man on the line to stop the second shot.
2 minutes 14 left to go. Still looking for the opening goal to come on through from Wales, and you can definitely feel the squad wants it because they've now stepped away from that little bit. You still, of course, got Pixie on the line there, but they're looking purely for that one clearance and then having two players ready to jump onto it. They are wanting that feel-good goal bad.
Yeah, even just one into the series would be nice for the Welsh squad. And now, a nice centre from Kenwen. Pixie's there, but unfortunately wide from the net, and Scry now on the defensive push, trying to stop Scotland from scoring another goal. Pixie's there on the line again. And Pixie just showing exactly what she can do, showing why she's the best in this Welsh squad.
Stephen is merciless as well. They're just always on it, end-to-end, top-tier player here. And when you've got the assist coming on through like that from Geordie's, stellar performance.
Yeah, we were talking before we came live with this game that we were expecting, you know, Scotland to put up quite the fight against Wales here. You know, we compared the scores, how they performed against Kenya and how we performed against Kenya, and we kind of had this in mind. It wasn't. We didn't want to admit it, but yeah, we had the feeling that Scotland were going to come out and put on a performance to this caliber.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, you know, it's just copium. we expect goals, and I think we will get more chance of that, especially going into game 3, but we knew coming in they was probably looking at that 3-0 scenario. It's just coming down to, like, been building it up. How much this team develops and evolves, like, we don't want to see them get downtrodden. We want to see them evolve as a squad and look like they're able to do a little bit of damage down the line. Oh,
Gosh,
that's
Kel's
a beautiful
putting
clearance.
it wide. Yeah, that pass is nice, but nobody able to get on the end of it for Wales. And Pixie Poppins now in the 1v1 against Stephen. Goes up for the jump, and Stephen with the bump. Predicting exactly what Pixie Poppins is doing in that situation. That's a great play from Stephen.
Getting the mind game and the follow on through. You can't do anything there as the defender. You have to go up naturally for the block on the ball, but if the player's coming on through, you're in the air, you don't have much boost left, you can't redirect yourself, you naturally can't get out of the way because then you're not going to be able to get a save. You are just at Stephen's whims there.
Yep. I've got you right where I want you.
It's almost evil. You know, we don't want to call any players evil, but we're just saying, like, for a metaphor.
Yeah. So that type of play, you're like, I hate you, but it was good. I hate you, but it was so good.
Oh, this is just quick response, seeing the gap. Stephen going to be able to go and get the 10th goal for Scotland come on through. And again, it is just faster players at this point, which is really just giving them a massive boon.
I don't think we're going to see that Wales goal as much as we hoped.
I want it.
Scotland are just all out relentless right now, not even giving Wales a chance to get on the attack.
Can we get like a chant in chat purely to give some energy, like, come on Wales, let's get a goal? That feels sad in its own right, and I'm sorry for suggesting it, but it's just like, you know, you don't want to go out without a goal. Come on.
Geordie's now putting this ball up the wall, going for the ceiling air dribble, but not too much coming of it. And now Stephen. Going to show Geordie's how it's done. Puts it too high, though. Geordie's in the centre with the touch. Don't know. You're not allowed another. Okay. Stop, Scotland.
Enough. Okay, right. 11-0 for that one for Scotland. Not pretty, like we said. But, going into game 3, you get a reset. I want to see a cheeky play. I want to see perhaps a fake kickoff.
Oh.
And that Scotland wouldn't be ready for that. They don't have the respect right now. They've just gone 6-0, 11-0. They just think they're going to keep walking over this. So, pull a little bit of magic out of the hat, hey?
You never know, it might happen. But what I'd love to see those bumping players coming through that you were talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Scry attempt it earlier on into that game, but then I think the game plan went out the window when goals started coming through for the Scotland side. So we're just waiting now for the players to get back into the lobby so we can get underway with the third game of this best of 5. I think now if we lose this game against Scotland, we are out of the Women's Rocket League. Let me just double check that with the standings.
Yes, this is our last match of the groups. We are currently sitting 1-1.
Yes.
Lost 3-0 to England, took down Kenya 3-0. So this basically comes down to Scotland here. Scotland still have to take on Kenya. They were scheduled to play them.
They played them this morning.
This morning, yeah, but I haven't seen the results come in for that one.
It was 3-0 to Scotland, quite dominantly as well.
Okay, so yeah. It's a similar case, but again, like we've already seen the Scotland versus England results from yesterday with England winning that 3-0, and it is just a case of those are the two top teams, not only within the group, but the tournament as well. Canada's got some very strong forces coming on through, it's got to be said, but that England and Scotland squads they're just both cracked.
Oh, we're getting an admin pause. Okay, let's see what's happening with that. Unfortunately, maybe having a few issues on one of the players' sides. That early goal from Scotland may most likely stand, as I think the pause was called after that goal went in. So, hopefully it doesn't take too long to get resolved, and we can get back in very soon.
Accidentally just knocking my tablet a little bit there. Looking towards the rest of the day as well, of course, we got loads of action coming in through from Wales. This is just sort of, should we say the drought point, where we've just had the Dota, which will look to actually get the resurgence. Like we said, that game against Singapore later on today could send us back into the playoffs, so a lot of weight there, but like I said, with the Rocket League, we knew the women's team were going to have a hard time of it, but the men's on the opposite end are actually showing us as a little bit of a wild card, aren't they? Where they could potentially get the upset. And I mean, even now, with that result against India, depending on how we play against Canada later, we could even top Group B, which would be crazy.
Yeah, I think we've actually got very high chances of topping Group B. We took down England yesterday, so those were the favourites for the group. And looking at how it looks like our game is back underway, and we've not restarted. It's been another pause called. One of the teams was not ready. Okay.
Oh, come on, don't do that to us. That goal from Scry counts. Come on, we know it.
If only. But unfortunately, the Scottish team were not ready.
Poor form, Scotland.
Yes.
They're only saying that so they could have the perfect series.
But yeah, either way, looking at how England played against Canada, did they play today or was that yesterday? Rocket League
they
Open.
played
England.
earlier today. England won 3-0.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that gives me high hopes for our game against Canada. We should then hopefully, top the group with relative ease. 5-0, 3-2, and 2-0. So it wasn't a stomping. It was close. So at least I still have high hopes for the Welsh boys when we move over to that game. Hopefully, shortly after this game, I can see currently the Australia Team World Connected game happening right now on that stream. So Once we're done with this game, hopefully the Welsh game isn't too long after. We're still waiting this tech pause to be resolved. We don't know what's happening right now. Unfortunately, we're not getting much information from the venue. Again, this is all taking place in Nottingham in Confetti, which is a esports venue in Nottingham. The finals will be taking place in Birmingham, though, so if you've got tickets, you should have a great weekend, and hopefully you'll be seeing the Welsh boys take part in the finals.
Yeah, it looks to be a ton of good fun up. There's this weekend coming, of course. We'll be kicking things off with the Rocket League on the Saturday. Then we'll be taking a look with men's Rocket League, on the Saturday. Then we'll be taking a look at the men's eFootball. Take a little break, a lunch break around 2 o'clock, and then we come on back with the Dota 2's women's finals, and of course the bronze decider. With all these, we're going to be doing a third, fourth place matchup. Not really normal within esports, but because of the Commonwealth Esports Championships that link to the Commonwealth, we are giving out gold, silver, and bronze medals, of course. When we go over towards the Sunday, then we flip it. We start off with the Rocket League women's, then we move on to the eFootball women's. Take the break once again, and then we finish off the weekend with the Dota 2 Men's Open. It's going to be lots of great fun, a lot of competition going on there, especially when, we're moving, say, with Dota from being just that best of 1 to the best of 3. That's a lot of action going on there to finish off the day.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, and I'm very jealous of everyone that will be attending. It's going to be a great weekend. But this game hasn't come back yet, so I think we're just going to take a quick little break, and we'll be right back as soon as that game is back underway. So don't go anywhere, we'll be back very soon.
Hard to explain it, my heart is racing, and I can't take it anymore. I just want you around me, kissing me softly, our bodies taking control. When you look at me, it's hard to breathe, it's ecstasy. The way you feel me, I have no control. When you're touching me, it's hard to leave, it feels so free. It's an awakening, just don't let go.
Okay, so we had a bit of misinformation. We've been told that the game had finished, but they were still actually getting tech issues resolved. So we are back into Game 3, and Scotland are continuing exactly how they left off into Game 2 and 1, with Stephen just adding another goal to their tally.
Yeah, it could have just been, you know, a little bit of a test lobby, getting that reset on up. But things resuming as normal. Perhaps that little break gives time for Wales to, you know, just calm their heads a little bit, get a game plan together. Like I said, still looking for that goal, but
okay.
Yeah.
Just do we have to continue watching?
It's just unfair, right? Because like, how can you be that good? Rocket League's one of these weird, like, have you ever tried to get friends into Rocket League and the first time they play, it's like trying to teach a baby to walk, ain't it? And then you're just seeing these guys fly up in the air. It's inhuman, almost.
Stephen adding a third goal within 30 seconds to their tally. Already on a hat-trick. I'd love to know how many goals they've got in total this series. Probably most of them.
6 from game 1.
Oh, what a save.
Yeah, just too many. That's it. Just, you know,
Too many to count, yeah.
Yeah.
And the assist coming out for Scottish Kells. This is just relentless still from this Scotland side, and they're looking like most likely going through to the semi-finals.
We did say it was the group of death, and you can definitely see why. This is a powerful roster right here, and you have to give them respect. We can definitely see the demos coming out from Steven now. That's in poor form. Demoing back on, remove them from the game.
It's already like we're playing with a player down. Don't start demoing too.
Oh, there's these aerial threats as well, which, like we said earlier, you just don't have that experience from. You just don't know how to go up and check it. Sure, the two players a little bit out of position there. I will be looking towards Pixie and saying should have been closer to that back post, considering your teammate was on that close post looking to push up. Of course, not in the best position, but you need to be covering from a bit further back so you've got the reaction time in response.
Yeah, Wales now looking to go on the counter-attack with Pixie, though. There's no boost left in her tank to follow on with that attack, and just then giving up the possession straight back to the Scotland side, and Pixie, unable to pick up a boost on her rotation back, has nothing to get up to that shot from Stephen. 6 goals in a minute and a half, and this is looking grim for Wales.
That's also another case there where you saw Pixie turning around near enough on the goal line. It's why you'll see so many players these days go for the quote-unquote squishy muffin save, where you go inside the goal and like around the loop and come out on top, is because you need that momentum. You can't just stop in Rocket League, otherwise you don't have any directional momentum to be able to then keep that speed to go out and meet the ball.
I do have word that we are looking to start the men's Rocket League game earlier, so hopefully as soon as this game has finished between Wales and Scotland, we'll be able to jump straight into Wales versus Canada to decide who tops the group in the men's Group B.
Yeah, we have also been told that for Dota 2, we might be getting the Wales versus Singapore match a little bit earlier than expected, as well as the previous match beforehand did finish on up.
The game before ours has started now. Well, it started 7 minutes ago, so it's quite dominant. Looks like it's probably going to finish quite early. Oh no! So close.
Come on. They all three had to commit into that play to make it at least convincing, and yeah, that just means you've got no defense there. This is now going to just turn into full Hail Marys, isn't it? Jake, I do believe we have also been asked about providing different nations on this broadcast, right? We might be bringing some Northern Ireland versus England.
Northern Ireland versus Scotland.
Scotland, that's
yeah,
it.
Unfortunately, the Northern Ireland broadcast had to be cancelled for today. I think the broadcaster that was working for Northern Ireland is actually travelling over to Birmingham, ready to. I think they're helping out with the actual event. So we're going to cover that, give you a bit of eFootball action for Northern Ireland and Scotland, just to give the Northern Ireland boys a bit of coverage, because although we are Welsh, we're here for the Welsh. We are also part of the British Esports Federation, and they've been really, well, I think it was actually EsportsWales that really started the conversation on getting some home nation coverage for this group stage, because originally there wasn't supposed to be any. So we're all about supporting each other in in the UK and the British Esports Federation. So we're more than happy to help provide that coverage and give the Northern Irish fans an extra game to watch, even if they can't watch it on their home channel.
That's currently scheduled for about 50 minutes from now at 1 o'clock, so we'll be bringing you that action as soon as it goes live. Currently sitting in this one, though, 11-0 in favour of the Scotland. Go on. We're not able to beat out Stephen on that one, though.
And now Scotland going away with the counter-attack. Pixie Poppins unable to get a touch on that on the back wall, and that just sets up Jordice for another goal into this game. Oh, Stephen, sorry. Jordice with the assist. Stephen coming in with the final touch. Kenman almost getting to that on the line. Unfortunately, not enough speed to stop that from going in. And 12-0, highest scoreline of this series. Still yet to see a Wales goal come out from the team.
Still want it. It's still there, ready for the taking. Just got to reach out and grab it.
Oh, Kenman, no, so
left.
close.
Oh. I cry.
We all
Small
cry.
tear. Of course, not the worst performance here coming on through, because we do look towards, other matches going on, and again, it just comes down to the disparity when it comes to Rocket League of just how it looks, right? It's, if you've got a team that are stronger, you will get larger goal differentials, whereas, say, when you're looking at Dota, right, it's just you win in the same fashion as before, just a bit quicker.
Yeah, and it's obvious that this Scotland team are a team not to be reckoned with, and they're just putting on a show now, trying to get as many goals as they can. We're just getting more word that actually we are looking to start on schedule for the Canada versus Wales men's Rocket League game. Canada don't want to start early, so we'll be sticking to 12:45. That's more than fine for us. Gives us more time to chat during this break. I think something starting at 12:30. Let me just check our schedule. It's hard to keep up with everything that's going on with so many different games happening at the same time.
3 different games, 2 different sort of tournaments for each game going side by side. It's a lot of double stacking.
Okay, so we might have Wales versus Singapore Dota starting early, depending on how the game that's happening right now goes. Oh no, don't make it... Come on, just stop scoring. Just let the game end. Come on, Scotland.
Because it actually drags it out for every goal that's scored. You're adding another 15 seconds to the clock because of the replays, the reset, and Scotland, I mean, can't blame them. They're in Nottingham now. They don't want to go home, do they?
No. I mean, it does... No, the goal difference won't even come into it because England beat Scotland. I was going to say, if goal difference was coming into it, then I completely understand. But no, England are going to be 3 points clear of Scotland, so these goals technically mean nothing.
Scotland playing Kenya, Leia, I think it's just, they want to get warmed up for that last match of the day, perhaps, where they're getting ready to take on, I do believe it's going to be Canada this evening for the Scottish side over on the second, the lower semi-final there, and that Canadian squad has definitely shown itself to be a strong squad.
Yep, And as we reach the final dying seconds of the game, Scotland put in another goal, and they're just making it embarrassing now. They've scored more goals in this one game than they did in the first two combined.
Yeah, 8 seconds to break that, and I think it was just more the Welsh squad now by, after 2 minutes into this game, we're like, yeah, this has happened.
Oh, Kenwen?
Think.
Oh, come on!
Give the draw!
No!
Oh!
Oh,
no, you can drop it.
No,
Stop the
just
drill.
put it down.
No.
Put it down.
Naughty.
Thank you. And that is GG. Scotland taking it convincingly 3-0. Not a care in the world. The girls not looking disheartened though on the Welsh side, and that's going to be it for the Women's Rocket League. Unfortunately, now being knocked out, unable to qualify into the semi-finals. It was a good showing from the women's. They got a win, so they can't go away with their heads
they can
low.
go away with their heads held high. Like, near enough finished by all expectations, and they sort of did similar damage to Kenya yesterday, so I guess this is a little bit of karma, right? Coming up through. Kenya did get a couple of goals, it's got to be said, and again, the Kenyan side, this is part of the world where esports is only just emerging, so it's awesome to see them included. The same with Ghana over in Group B, and I think for now the Welsh side would just be able to go away, chill, and get to talk and chat with some of the friends that they've made over this weekend, because that's also a big part of it, where we're seeing players that don't play at that top level, they're just getting experience now and making good friendships at the event.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that's a big positive about this. It's the networking side of things. You'll meet people that you'll probably never would have had the chance to meet before. So it's a great opportunity for everyone that has taken part. And Wales being able to send a squad for every single tournament is a big step in the right direction for the grassroots scene in Wales. Trying to bring up these unseen talents and trying to give them the airtime that they deserve. And it really is a great opportunity. But yeah, I think now we will have a short break whilst we await for the men's Rocket League to start and hopefully the women's Dota, and then we'll also hopefully be stopping and dropping into the Scotland versus Northern Ireland e-football game. So on that note, I think we'll take a break and we'll be back very soon.
hard to explain it. My heart is racing, and I can't take it anymore. I just want you around me, kissing me softly. Our bodies taking control. When you look at me, it's hard to breathe. It's ecstasy. The way you feel me, I have no control. When you're touching me, it's hard to leave. It feels so free. It's an awakening. Just don't let go. Can't
time. No more playing around, but now's the time to cross the line. Show me what's inside that soul, I'll let you feel mine. Come on, let's let our mind and bodies intertwine. Come on over if you wanna have a good time. No more playing around, but now's the time to cross the line. Show me what's inside that soul, I'll let you feel mine. Come on, let's let our mind and bodies intertwine.
Wanna hold me like you used to, but I keep saying we're done. Guess this meant more to you than I thought. I needed you just for fun. Ooh, I kinda like it, this game you play of catch and release. Ooh, I wanna try it, to let you come on closer to me. So I say, my mama told me not to lie to you, but I think that I'm hopeless. My mama told me to play nice with you, but I just can't seem to focus.
Whoa, nah, 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 no. Ain't no way to stop this feeling. Think I'll lose my mind. Loving you from silence. Honey on my mind. Open ocean eyes. Nobody's gonna love you the way that I do. Honey on my mind. Wanna look at it come to life. Nobody's gonna love you the way that I do.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the EsportsWales Twitch channel. My name is JakeyBoyPro. I am joined once again by DigitalBacon, and we have a special guest with us. Smico is joining us to help us cover the women's Dota that should hopefully be starting very soon. Smico, how are you doing today?
But hopefully we're in for a treat. I'm assuming both games are going on at the same time. We've got Rocket League and Dota 2 playing simultaneously, so that'll be exciting to see if we can keep up with all the action.
Yeah, this is definitely looking to be a big match going on here. Wales win this and, well, they go through into the semi-finals as the top team from Group B. Perfect streak there. But they are coming through from the North American qualifiers, J-Comp and Spoods of Canada. This is a university squad, guys, so they've got a lot of great chemistry with each other.
Yeah, and already only a minute into the game, we haven't really seen many close attempts, that being the first shot on target from Tadpole, and there he goes with the pass from Breezy, unable to put it in, off to the crossbar. Breezy now trying to get the flip reset and unfortunately saved on the goal line. Tadpole putting it back centre, Foxy's up for it, and Spoods with a good save. And lots of pressure here from EsportsWales.
Really impressed by the defense coming on through from the Canadian side, but the passing plays from the Welsh lads is chef's kiss.
It's very spirited defence to try and keep that out for as long as possible, but the pressure just too much from Team Wales. Well done.
Yeah. Go on.
Go on.
Oh, you go ahead.
I was going to say, for here, so European teams are always known for having better defense than your North American counterparts, but it's that attack coming through from North America which we're going to have to be careful of here. But if the Welsh side can just keep that attack high, can keep just pressing against their opponent's net, this should just be a matter of time as to when they will get goals and when they will get the win.
Foxy being called off for his aerial there, and it was a good decision. Breezy getting the initial challenge in, and then Foxy trying to take the ball out. Tadpole then recovering after the demo. Breezy up to meet Jay with that pass, but now back to the back wall of Canada. Tadpole tries on that challenge, misses, and now a second one going the way of Canada, and now it's through on an open net, and Comp puts it away for a 1-1 scoreline.
Comp's going to be the player that they're going to have to keep an eye on the most. Definitely, for me anyway, the highlight player for this Canadian squad. And so if we can get some demos going on to them, that's going to be the best play here. You know, this is the weird one. Again, I talked about EU versus NA earlier, and it's just that difference in playstyle which might just throw Wales and the other European squads off a bit. You know, when we got Breezy there with no Hibs, Ixo, Cash, like the backside of their hand pretty much. The same when it comes down to Tadpole. They all face off against each other near enough daily, but when it comes to this Canadian squad, it's a whole new experience.
Defensive play coming out from Wales now. Foxy all the way trying... Sorry, Tadpole pushing that ball forward. Foxy waiting on centre for it. Foxy now in the corner trying to do something with this ball. Tadpole waiting for the second man opportunity, and there it is. Gets the first touch, tries to get the second off the back wall, and cleared away off the back line.
Still keeping the pressure on. Oh, go on, you know a lot more about this sport than me. I'm here to talk about the other thing.
Trycards on a normal thing in Rocket League to the high level, and that's in person when you get the opportunity to, of course, like tap each other on the shoulders. So online, we're trying to like work our way through it. But Breezy's rotations here are going to be the biggest strength coming through from the Welsh side. Just how quick he is to move around the pitch means that if anything goes astray in the attack, he can get back to defense so fast. I love that Foxy isn't afraid to get involved here as well, guys. Like, again, we're looking at two players that have kicked it at the top of RLCS really now, and Foxy there coming on through is, like we said, that ranked warrior, a good friend of Tadpole's, is getting involved in every single play, not being left on out. That's massive for the squad.
Certainly is a full squad effort. It's impressive to see Wales keeping the pressure on you. So from a layman's point of view, you explain to fools like myself, is there any advantage for Wales finishing top of the group?
So basically, it's going to be the more favorable seed coming on out from the other group. So right now, looking at our group, we're sort of expecting, well, Australia and Team Well Connected. Australia, they're a big, powerful side. That's Kaka's minions from OC coming on through. Whereas Team Well Connected, the South African squad, a much more favorable opponent to go up against, because that Australian team have got just as much right as the Welsh, Canadian, or English side to push on through and take it all. So getting that, I wouldn't say punch that short ticket into the finals, no disrespect to South Africa, but that's the opponent that you want.
That's the more favourable matchup for us.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's hope the lads can do it here. There's a lot of pressure finishing the normal time they won apiece, but hopefully Wales can snag the victory here.
Yeah, this is actually the first overtime that we've witnessed on Rocket League for this stream. I'm not sure if it's the first overtime all weekend, but really quite the formidable match coming out from both of these teams. Wales really keeping up that defensive prowess that they've been showing all tournament long. Especially in that game against England yesterday, the defence was really what kept Wales in the entire series. And Foxy with a pass from Breezy,
so
unable
close
to finish. Tadpole puts it back centre, and Wales just have to reset now and go for another attacking play.
Yeah, and Wales will want to keep that attack high. They won't want their opponents to get past that midfield line. Tapol with a nice little slow build-up play. But Spoods, what a read. Won't be able to get there in time. Again, Breezy with those quick rotations, able to take it on back pass one. Jay going to knock this towards the centre. Comp, beautiful little touch to put that off towards Jata's side. The Canadians have got some great control over the ball.
Nice little clear off the backboard coming out from Canada. Wales, Foxy with a touch.
Oh, this is it.
Great
The
save from Comp
defence.
off the backboard.
Oh, Breezy here, though, is a dangerous threat. Good stuff from Comp to be able to get there. But no, it's Breezy in the air, just that control of the ball that he's got. He's known for these solo plays and can near enough pull them off immaculately. But their opposition, the Canadians, will know that themselves because he's a fabled player there. They'll notice that they've always got to keep one player back ready on these attacks.
Certainly is nail biting stuff. Watching Breezy fly around doing the aerials, it's a bit of magic, to be honest with you. I'm very impressed with Canada to be able to stop so many on-goal attempts from Team Wales.
We're looking at this as well, Jakey, in the break, and we're like saying, okay, who did Team Canada have to face off? And because it's like, national teams and that, comparing to the 7-11 Open qualifiers, they finished 9th in that tournament, and it's just purely because they were this sole Canadian team coming on through out of that, and it just shows the sheer level that comes out from America, both Canada and Mexico included in that, of course, and just that this team is cracked, the whole region is cracked, and just still being able to form toe-to-toe with the best coming in from Wales and, of course, England as well.
Yeah, and obviously Wales with the likes of Tadpole, RLCS veteran at this point, taking part in many RLCS seasons. Now obviously retired from pro play, this being his last competitive tournament, moving on to management for Williams Resolve, and now he's laying helping to lay the foundation for
there it is.
future
Well
pros,
done.
and that's exactly what we expect out of Tadpole. And England, Wales take this game against Canada 2-1, and on that point we actually have our draft starting for Wales versus Singapore in Dota.
We get that action to come on up. So, Smico, talk us through these simple picks then.
Oh, see, now this is the issue, because you're going to ask me for information, and I'm not a smart man, but thank you for having me on. Phenomenal to see women's Dota at the top, the top of the game here from Team Wales. Some fairly standard opening picks and bans from Wales and Singapore. Obviously, there are certain heroes stronger in this patch than others, but with Lena and Grimstroke, that's a nice sort of flexible two opening picks that will allow Team Wales to sort of solidify the rest of the draft. Juggernaut, always a big player, so Team Singapore picking that up early, but one of those heroes that you can shut down with enough burst damage and control. Lich, not my personal favourite for support picks at the moment, but if Team Singapore do have a player that specialises in playing the hero, sometimes the meta isn't the most important things. It's what works best for your team composition. Earth Spirit, another high-level, a very skill-based hero. I don't know if you've seen this in any of the other games. I haven't been able to watch the games this morning, but Earth Spirit is a very mobile hero, capable of a lot of control and disruption. So
just as we see this last pick in, I'm going to have to cut you off as game
no
2
problem
is
at
well
all.
underway for Wales versus Canada. Not many opportunities coming through so far whilst watching it to make sure we didn't miss anything. We will check back in with that draft once the draft is complete, and we'll get Smico to just give a bit of an insight as to what the rest of the picks and bans were in that draft.
Yeah, so hopefully some beautiful little picture-in-picture action so we can just get confirmation of that. But first minute, this is impressive for me because Canada going up against England earlier on today had a bit of a poor start. England taking that first game 5-0. Of course, we know they're on the warpath to get back into this since they are fighting for survival. But Canada generally a slow start, and they've clearly gone away, had to work on it, ready for this match because they know the opposition coming. The flick up from Breezy. Foxy not going to be able to drop it with enough an angle. But look, Tadpole keeping the attack going, pushing this forward for Breezy in the center. Will meet it. What a save!
Yeah, Canada really showing what they can do defensively right now as Wales are just unrelenting on this attack, just putting everything they have into these attacks. And now Wales on the back foot, but Breezy with a good save, and Foxy pushing it even further forward. Tadpole now on the back line, stops that shot on target, and now Wales look to reset on this attack.
Not really reset, just take control once again, because a full reset they cannot afford to allow Canada into that back lines. They can't just go for the full boost. Instead they need to push this quickly downfield. Breezy being able to pick up the 100 perfectly, but demoed out of the game.
Now Wales on this attack again. Breezy tries to put it on target but stopped, and now Canada look to push forward, but Tadpole says no. Tadpole once again looking for the ball, puts it off the corner, tries to get it centre to one of his teammates. No one there in this situation. Breezy now collecting the ball, passing it forward to Foxy, and just wide of that goal line.
Canada's got to be careful here as well. They keep on throwing it into the same corner. This makes it easier for Wales to be able to lock on down. You can see keeping it over to that right-hand side from Canada's perspective, and that just means eventually there will be a pass and play thrown over to the other end, and Breezy is there to pick it up.
Was a little bit worried when I seen that first touch coming through. You know, the double commit from Breezy and Foxy. I thought that, you know, they were going to get dispossessed and then Canada were going to be on a break and, you know, have a potential 2-on-1 situation down the other end. But it ends up playing into Wales's favour. And they get that goal with relative ease. Not much defence coming out from Canada in that situation. As we wait to get back into game, hopefully the feed will take us back in now. Please. Right, we're going to have the cast from Foxy's monitor. Just about that slither of angle we can see.
No one's cheering, no one's looking upset, so we know a goal's not been scored.
Yeah, we haven't heard the goal explosion sound just yet. So, I can't tell if we're on attack.
The orange half. It's on the midfield line, pushing on back towards the blue half. Going up a wall of some sort. Still in the blue half, which is Wales's half, so not great. Oh, come on, can we get camera guy? Can you just tilt that a little bit more? There we go. Oh my god.
Perfect. No, come back.
No. We had the perfect streamception. Come back, camera guy.
Our heroes left us.
So we know there hasn't been another goal yet.
What's going on in Dota?
Yeah, why not? Let's just take a quick look at the Dota whilst we wait for this situation to be resolved. And it looks like the draft is coming to an end.
Just coming in for Wales's final pick there for Wraith King, and an immediate pick of Wind Ranger. Just having a quick look at both teams there. Some very strong heroes in this meta on both sides. I will say the difference is probably going to come down to how big Dragon Knight can get versus how quickly Wind Ranger can get off the bat. So we will see what happens when the lanes are picked later on. I'm not sure if we've got the Rocket League feedback at all. You let me know, guys. I'll just keep chatting as things
Doesn't
go.
seem like there's been a
Nope.
goal either. Hey, we've got it
Oh,
back.
we're
Let's
back.
go.
We're
Yeah.
back.
There has been a goal.
That
Wales
was
is
the-
up 1-0.
That was the goal that took us to the cameras.
We saw
right,
that
yes,
goal.
we saw
okay.
that,
We saw that
Bacon.
goal. We've seen that. Don't get us too
I am
excited
small
now.
brain help.
The smoothest of brains. Just like this smooth play, awesome defense from Tadpole. Oh, keeping
Oh,
it out.
that's clean. Pushing it into
And
open
spike
space.
to the
Foxy,
ground.
kill
Let's
it.
go.
Beautiful.
Well done.
Jay, you knew what was happening there. You knew to send us straight over here.
I'm just going to stay on this until I see Rocket League gameplay back.
See the Rocket League. Do you not want to just watch cameraman come back and help us out? No? Traitor, absolutely traitorous. Never mind. So yeah, we've got the picks out here for both teams. Lena, Grimstroke, Shadow Shaman, Dragon Knight and Wraith King for Team Wales. Lich, Juggernaut, Earth Spirit, Death Prophet and Wind Ranger for Team Singapore. If I had to put my money on it, personally, I think Team Singapore's draft is slightly stronger, a little bit more flexible. This is going to come down to the laning phase and how quickly Dragon Knight can build into a big killing machine, and then how fast Wraith Knight can come on. Skeleton King as he was, and now the change in the latest patch, seeing how strong he can become. Watching Death Prophet, personally, I think that hero has fallen off a
It
little bit,
seems
but we'll
like
see.
we're back underway. There we
Oh,
go.
we're back underway.
Perfect. So Wales 2-0 up in this series, only needing to take one more to qualify in that top position in these groups and face off against second in Group A. And all of the player names above the
I've not
heads are
seen
wrong.
this bug in the game for like a year now. I don't know how it's got back into the game.
Oh,
but
no.
yeah. That will
We
be
don't know who's
Tadpole on the
who.
ball. Number 2 is Foxy. Number 3, that's definitely Breezy in the Fennec. So at least I know the Welsh side well enough.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, all we need to know at the moment is Wales are keeping the pressure on, keeping up that strong offensive game, which I think has really surprised Canada. It's getting them on the back foot. As you say, the European team's more known for their defensive plays. So watching Team Wales be so aggressive, nearly. Again, Breezy there, getting back on target.
What's it down to
It's
Tadpole? That would have been
oh,
beautiful.
Locks are coming out from Canada just really concisely. They're closing down Wales really well, and they just cannot give them space because they can see the pace coming on out from Wales. They've got great communication. The chemistry, like we said earlier, is brilliant for the Wales side. So that's how you combat it. You don't give them space to move about. And unfortunate there for Foxy not be able to get a little flip into it.
Tadpole now taking the ball off the ceiling, trying to put it centre. Cleared by Jay off the back wall, and Foxy there with an unfortunate miss, but Breezy's there to recover. Tries now with a nice little air dribble, but comp on the back line once again. And this Canada defence, as we've been saying all series, they've been great. And you can see that by how many goals Wales have only just scored. They've only scored 3 across the entire series.
Nice little block out, but great stuff from Tadpole. Again, trying to use a lot of width. You could see his teammates struggling with the rotation. Demo comes on.
we saw
out.
a demo in the back line there.
Not going to be able to do it. This could run the whole distance. No comp able to get a touch there. Spoos looking to turn around. Good close down by Tadpole. The layoff for Foxy. Can Breezy finish this off? The shot is on, but what a save from Spoos.
That was such great foresight from Spoos to put himself in the right position for that little backflip and clearing the ball. Well done.
You can see again the pressure trying to be laid down by Foxy. It will allow time for Tadpole to step on through, but the angle there off the wall, the curvature just not favouring him. Bit too skinny, too flat towards that backboard, makes it easy for the defender. Great pass out towards Tadpole, just one to target the ball on through, but the post to deny.
This is a mixture of Canada's defence and the fourth defender being the post and crossbars.
It's just how the cookie crumbles sometime, ain't it? But again, Wales definitely feeling the more aggressive, winning more possession of the ball. So it does still feel like a matter of when rather than if they'll get a goal.
And it feels like it's going to be coming very soon. But now Wales on the defensive. Tadpole, no, Foxy, Breezy. I can't
Breezy.
tell. I can't.
The
tell.
Fennec, the the Volkswagen Golf is Breezy.
Oh, Breezy, come on. Oh, that's a good save coming
nearly.
out from Spoods. Reads the air dribble very well and just puts himself in front of that ball and keeps this game tied 0-0.
I gotta say, watching Breezy with his aerials is actual witchcraft. I'm not sure how he does it. This is amazing to see.
I made the metaphor earlier, like when you first get into Rocket League, it's like learning to walk.
Yeah.
And then you see what these guys can do, it's absolutely crazy. Like, I'm only at like GC1 myself, and what these guys do just just amazes me each and every day.
Demo in the air.
Oh, that would have been great. I was just about to say, I think this has probably been one of the closest series that we've seen all weekend. Even the England-Wales series, although it went to all 5 games, those games that were played were still pretty one-sided. For the most part, it was either 4-1, or 5-2, or 2-0. But for these games, they've been it's so hard to get the difference in skill between the two teams. It's showing in the scorelines.
It also shows like the difference in play styles, because England 3-0'd Canada earlier on today, yet Canada coming up against Wales, just because of how the play styles is very high pace, not really demo heavy, which England will play a very demo heavy way, especially when you got Cash and Ixo on board. There's too much respect. If we can just remove some of the Canadian players, I think there'll be so many more openings for Wales.
Now we're seeing our second overtime of the series, and it looks like it could be over very quickly.
Oh no!
Breezy just unable to get the touch that he needed to put that the ball on target, and now Canada looks to break away. Tadpole off the back wall with a great interception, and now Wales looks to break out on the attack.
Breezy to take it forward. There comes Foxy. The shot on target was good, but a defender there, Tadpole, putting it back in the mixer, of course, just to keep the pressure up. The clearance does come on through with Foxy knocking that back towards the center, but they just need to connect up with a finisher. They need a pass, not a dribble towards the center. Actually works. Missing the ball there was the best choice. Tadpole to get the redirect. No. Unfortunately, Jay was there to remove it. Comp on the opposite side, looking to run it around towards center. He does have options there in Spood and Jay, but the close downs come through very well from Wales.
You cannot separate these teams.
No.
It's back and forth with opportunities going the way of both teams, but just the defense on both teams is so good that neither team can score. It's lovely to see.
Normally, you'd think with Rocket League you want like high-scoring games because explosions is all fun, but I think this is just such an interesting and enthralling game in its own right. Sure, we haven't had a goal, but there's been pressure 99% of the time.
Yep. Certainly been non-stop action, to see these two teams sort of a battle of attrition, really, to see who can keep up this pace.
Tadpole turns on the ball and tries to get it back centre for his team, but quickly dispossessed by the Canadian defence.
I hate to pose it, but you're going to get a poo goal here at the finish. Like, someone makes a brain fart.
Yeah.
You know, because you've just been working at 110%, there's got to be one slip-up, because these players, whilst we have seen a couple of slip-ups, they got each other covered. You know, they're stacking their defense with two defenders, one to go and challenge onto it, and then the second to respond afterwards. That's a nice little pass to push out wide to the side. But again, that's that one to come out and challenge, and then back behind. Didn't get to see with the camera angle. You would have someone to sweep on in.
Yeah, it does feel like the goal is probably going to, if it does come at all, is going to come from a breakaway, and then, as you say, a misplay perhaps from one of the sweeping defenders.
I'd be worried if the goal doesn't come. You know, I don't want an infinite
This
overtime.
could be the rest of our lives, guys. This could be.
I have the first and third longest OTs. I told you it'd be a slip up. No.
As we were saying.
Canada take the
Commentator's
game.
curse.
It was a decent goal, actually, to be fair. It wasn't terrible. A nice little ceiling bounce down into the net. 2 defenders on the line, just unable to get the positioning needed. And
How's Dota started? Come on. Let's have a little look at that whilst they're getting into game number 4. Again, though, we don't have to worry too much about the Welsh side. A win in any form, they could drop the next game and still be fine. As long as they take game 5, they will top the group.
That's for the Rocket League team, yeah. But obviously, Team Wales for the Team Wales female team need to win this, I believe, to progress to the semi-finals. Is that correct?
that's correct,
Yeah,
yes.
that'll get them 4th seed.
4 seed. So this is a best of 1 game, and as you can see, Singapore with 5 kills to 1 here, certainly taking a bit more control in the early game. If you look at the last hit ratio on the left-hand side there, you can see Wind Ranger, Death Prophet, and Juggernaut, all for Team Singapore, position 1, 2, and 3 with the last hits. So this is what I was talking about with, I think, the early game, just depending on how quickly Dragon Knight could get off the ground. And it does look as if Team Singapore has been able to shut that down. Obviously, I've been watching closely what's been going on in the laning stage. But the wonderful thing about Dota is it's not over till it's over. We see some wonderful late game comebacks. Just because a team takes the early game doesn't mean that the mid and late game is theirs. So we'll see how that game develops as we get back into our Rocket League game.
Yeah, and this is probably going to be another low-scoring affair. Generally, you do see it like change on up. If you have one game that, we went straight into OT without a goal, the next one should be a bit of a blowout with tons and tons coming out. But I think these guys have got enough mental fortitude, especially when we're looking at Breezy, Tadpole, you're looking at Comp, and Jerry from the opposite side. They can keep playing at this high pressure for a long time.
It is super impressive to see the focus that a team can keep up, because I'll be honest with you, I'm tired and I'm only watching it, so how they can manage to stay on top of the game and still be performing at the highest level is genuinely, as I said earlier, particularly with Breezy, it's witchcraft. It's actual magic that's happening in front of our eyes.
Foxy now.
Trying. Not able to get a flick there, and that is so much harder than what it looks. It's more about the position of the ball on your card rather than just, pressing a second time to just flip into it.
Now, miscommunication on the defense leads to a nice opportunity for Wales. Double commit on that defensive play from Jay and Comp. Foxy winning the 50 and just setting up Tadpole for an easy little dunk down. Wales take the lead in game 4.
Okay. Just hold on to it. Preferably, of course, get a second goal, right, guys, where they just give themselves a little bit of a buffer, a bit of a barrier to it. Of course, if you get the 3rd goal, that should be it, all she wrote. But Canada now, their backs against the wall, will look to push hard.
Attack being the greatest form of defence, in my opinion, so let's see what Canada does with this.
Breezy going for the second touch, but again, always going for these setups. He's getting close to the goal. For many people, they'll look at that as a shot, but it's never going to be a shot because it's not that simple. You have to lay it off. You have to pull out one defender who's got to go up in case it's a shot for the save, and then you're just whittling down the defense.
Jay now with a nice little pass to himself. Gets the flip reset, but unable to do too much with it. Breezy now looking to take the ball out from the corner and get onto a counter-attack for this Wales side. Loses the 50-50, but Tadpole is there to cover.
What can Foxy do with this? They were going for a pinch. I love the creativity coming out now where they've tried everything that's normal Rocket League. Let's just throw, a couple of tricks into the mix.
Another demo going on.
Yeah. Just throws off that synergy of the team, just that little bit, and causes that chaos that, some teams thrive in. Some teams love those demos. They don't mind them. They can just, so what, you demo me, I'll just do what I need to do. But sometimes that'll just throw a team off enough and just give you that opportunity to get that extra goal and give you that breathing room into a series.
You're saying team in him. Team England in particular loving the demo plays, and it's a different style. It's just interesting to see how those two styles sort of mash together.
Nit down the wall, Comp here. It's an easy touch, but Breezy needed a turn in. I think they are waiting for Fox to knock it off the wall once again. Put it up high for Breezy to follow through. Double demo leaves a little bit open, but I'm loving the pace that Canada are now picking up. They're going truly head-to-head because they were a little bit slower last time. They were forsaking a bit of their boost so that they could then meet up for those challenges. But now,
what a clearance! Well done, Breezy.
Of the game.
I was just about to say, that pass down off the ceiling, it's exactly what caught us off in the overtime of the last one. But this time Breezy was there on the line to get the shot from that pass off the ceiling, and now Tadpole looking to put it on target off the crossbar and down and cleared out on the Canadian defense Comp, just looking to collect that ball and take it out with a nice little air dribble. 10 seconds for Canada. Can they do anything to keep themselves in this series, or are Wales going to cement their place at the top of group and into the semi-finals as the top seed? And they do exactly that.
Come on, Wales. Well done. Not that we're biased casters. Not that we're biased at all, but we are.
As we said earlier, Wales the only nation to get a squad into every single category. And whilst we've seen some, disheartening displays because, we've got some real strong teams across each and every one, there's the first, and that's the team that we're putting a lot of hopes to come out with a gold. As we hop on over towards the Dota here, Smico, any little changes up from what we saw earlier?
So we've seen pretty much what we can say is more the same, with Team Singapore have been continuing to dominate this early to leading into the mid-game stage. Still top 3 net worth, still with the kill lead. It's not looking great for Team Wales at the moment, but that's not to say that there isn't a comeback on the horizon. We've got some phenomenal players on the female team for Dota 2, and it's a pleasure to see them.
Just want to point this out quickly. The boys have actually gone over to speak to Team Canada. We haven't witnessed this in any of the other games, but I wanted to point it out because we talked about it earlier on, is that the connections that you get from, doing something like this is one of the biggest things about doing it. You meet loads of people. You meet people that you wouldn't have met from just general online play. Like, those interpersonal connections are something that's going to be big for a lot of these players. It could land them playing on a professional team in the future if they perform well enough at, the Commonwealth Esports Championships.
Oh, I'm sure that we'll see some world champions coming out of these Commonwealth games. These are, I know we were talking about Tadpole going off into management and what have you, but we've got players here across all the teams that are the future, really, of esports, and it's wonderful to see.
Yeah, for me, the eyes are going to be on Breezy there from the Welsh squad. We've seen him perform throughout numerous squads in the past. Most recently, of course, Double O Nation. They've been making waves. Previously, of course, he was on Singularity as well, but most recently would have been back within the Winter Split, playing for that squad where they got 5th/6th in the RLCS for EU, and it's more going to be setting up, getting Breezy ready for the next season, I don't know, 22, 23, whatever Cyronix calls it, for the next season of Rocket League, and getting back on a top 8, at worst top 16 squad, because he is a top level player.
Sorry to cut in here, guys, but we just saw a fight in the mid there. Team Wales committing a lot of resources in against the Earth Spirit, who they thought they'd managed to catch out, but Earth Spirit managed to hold on, survive long enough and bring Team Wales down low enough that the rotation from Team Singapore, resulting in initially a 2-for-1 for Team Singapore, but then taking more, killing 4 of Team Wales off as they all ran low. This is where we were saying earlier on about basically the Singapore team just having that faster pace, growing a little bit quicker, being able to farm that bit faster, survive a bit longer in lanes, and just that little difference in the health there, where Earth Spirit was managed to hold on through the initial stun, through the initial lockdown, giving Team Singapore the chance to rotate, and Team Wales unable to scramble away. So things not looking good at the moment for Team Wales. but I've still got my fingers crossed. We'll see what happens going forward in this game. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut across you there as you were talking about.
So one
Breezy.
thing we saw earlier when we cut on in, the biggest discrepancy to me was the number of denials between Wales and Singapore. Can you explain that a little bit better for us, maybe?
So when you've got we're talking about denies is creep denies. So that's basically denying your opponent some experience in the lane. You'll see a lot more denies happening in lane than you will past into the mid and later game, and it really can affect the equilibrium of the lanes. So if you are denying creeps, and this depends entirely on the hero composition as well, you can really control the positioning of a lane, keeping the lane closer to your own tower. Denying your creeps denies experience and last hit potential to your opponents. So if you can control a lane in that way, that is particularly useful in the early to mid game.
So is that why we're seeing like the stack when you look towards net worth up top left right now, why you're seeing one team who's just having that big beefy jump up near enough?
Yeah, you've got some very strong leaning heroes in Juggernaut, Wind Ranger and Death Prophet. Now, obviously, we didn't see the beginning of the game in the laning stage because we were focused on that amazing win from Team Wales's Rocket League team. But what basically can happen is that because you've got these fast farming heroes that can clear waves with their abilities, they can build up an experience lead. And as we can see here, because of that differential in experience and differential in levels, Team Singapore were able to dive past the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane and take out 3 of Team Wales's heroes, which a 3-for-nothing trade there, while Death Prophet using their ultimate to pressure the tower, which more than likely is going to go down. What I will say about Team Wales, with the composition they do have a very good high ground defence. So it'll be interesting to see if, when Team Singapore pushes to the high ground, if Team Wales can hold on and make use of some of those comeback mechanics, where obviously if you kill a hero with much higher net worth and a much higher level, you gain quite a bit out of it. So you can see these comeback mechanics taking effect. And we've seen games go right down to the wire with not a single tower left on one side for that team to come back and win. So hopefully Team Wales can dig deep here, start playing more as a group, hopefully be able to catch out some of the supports of Team Singapore.
So comparing to the match we saw earlier, this is a lot closer, just because we've seen Wales take a tower from each lane as well. I know when we look at Singapore, they've removed 2 towers from the Radiant safe lane and of course the Radiant off lane. Is there a way right now where they'll want to say focus one lane and try and just whittle that down, or is it better to go for that more broad stroke approach?
So the way that Team Singapore, I suspect, is going to approach this game is they're basically going to play around the Death Prophet ultimate. If you look along the top line there with the green diamond shapes, that tells you whether that hero has their ultimate available to them. Death Prophet ultimate is currently down, having used that to take the second tower in the bottom lane. But the Death Prophet ultimate is very good at zoning out your opponents and doing damage to buildings. So I suspect they'll play around that, and when they see an opening, they'll push down the lane using the Death Prophet ultimate. You'd assume to see the similar play in reverse using the Shadow Shaman ultimate from Team Wales, but they are not in a position to cross that central river at the moment. They need to farm up. They need to try and catch out some of Team Singapore on their own side of the map and hopefully tip the scale in their favour.
So with that, with the Death Prophet ultimate now coming up, do you expect a big team fight to take place pretty soon?
Yeah, so Team Singapore has now smoked, so if you see the Earth Spirit there is currently invisible, this is to try and get a catch out against Team Wales. Luckily for us, and as I say that, they do manage to catch out the Wraith King using his first life there. Wraith King having the ability to regenerate with his ultimate. That's what that does for him. But it looks as if they're going to bring him down a second time. Dragon Knight also running low, and the Death Prophet ultimate has been popped. Death Prophet on a godlike killing streak. But this time, in the backline, Team Wales able to get some counter kills, taking out the Wind Ranger and the Lich there. So that a lot better team fight from Team Wales. The problem being the ultimate being expended from Dragon Knight, which will reduce their ability to counter push now.
Yeah, and of course, being a higher level, Singapore have much longer cooldowns on their respawns, don't they? I mean, we're still waiting, 15 seconds up there. I think it was about a 40-something second cooldown compared to when we look towards Wales. I think the longest was about 25 seconds.
So again, this is where we're talking about the comeback mechanics of those higher level. If you can manage to get a pick on a higher level opponent, getting that experience and gold gain, but also the time that they have to spend sat out on the sidelines in Dota 2 purgatory waiting for the respawn.
Okay, looking like there's some sort of like call towards the top lane where Singapore noticing a bit of a push coming through from up there.
Yeah, so it looks as if Dragon Knight is trying to farm out in the jungle on our side of the map there. Lena has now teleported away. A good read there, noticing the danger, because if she'd been caught out by the Singapore team Wind Ranger, she probably would have been picked off fairly easily. But the key here is Team Wales are going to need to try and push out the map as much as they can, try and control some of the jungle area so they can get some farm and come back. But Team Singapore content to sit in the bottom jungle and see if they can pick anyone out as they push forward in the lanes. So, Team Wales with a smoke there, looking to make a smoke play, a smoke of deceit. So their players are now moving around at a slightly higher movement speed and invisible from any wards that Team Singapore would have down. You would try and use this to try and catch a hero out there, sweeping through Team Singapore's jungle, unable to find anyone at the moment. But I think we're going to see a clash here as Team Singapore move into the high ground. And Juggernaut just absolutely deleting Shadow Shaman with his ultimate, and unfortunately Grimstroke going down. This is going to mean Team Wales having to back off, as we were saying about pick-offs being very important, and this has allowed them space to go in against Roshan. Obviously, if they take out Roshan, they will get some perks and benefits. I don't know if a Rosh has been killed at any point during this game yet. The number of kills on Roshan depends on the item drop from it, but they are likely to pick this up uncontested for the Aegis of the Immortal, which will give them being placed on Juggernaut there, so giving Juggernaut an extra life. If he gets brought down, he will respawn immediately using the Aegis, which is the item they've just picked up.
And do players actually like dictate who's going to get that last hit to get the kill then on Roshan to purposely give one player that respawn?
So when Roshan is killed, the item is dropped, so there'll be a conversation about who picks that item up, because it cannot then be transferred between players. And high ground defense, Dragonite ultimate being expended there to try and ward off the approach from Team Singapore. Oh, player has paused the game. Probably a connection issue. Whether or not we see mass disconnections here, whether or not we were seeing any stuttering.
Right, so a couple were disconnected. I'm pretty sure they'll pull that game back up and we shouldn't have too much of an issue, right, Smico?
Oh no, I'm on screen. Oh, hi guys. Oh no, hi myself. I'm not sure if I'm focused. Focus. Focus. Okay, we're good. Okay, now that I know I'm on camera, it's even worse. It's even worse for you guys because you got to listen to me and look at me now.
Hey, it could have been worse. Like, at least you're properly dressed. You didn't have anything going on there, so you're fine.
Only from the waist up. It's too hot in this room. I'm properly dressed just from there up. I've actually cut the bottom of this top off as well. It's just a crop. No, guys, we're not allowed to say things like that on there. I'm wearing full attire. I'm wearing one of EsportsWales' wonderful jerseys. Not to plug our merch. Not to plug our merch or anything.
Oh, game's back underway, so let's get back in.
Bit of reconnection. There you go. You've been saved, chat. You haven't got to look at us anymore. Instead, we get to look at these phenomenal plays from two high-level teams. But as you can see from the kill differential here, Team Singapore very much in control of this map at the moment, being able to push lanes at will, really. It's going to come down to that high ground defence and whether or not Team Wales can weather the storm.
But again, we are seeing Wales now with that net worth starting to creep back into it. Of course, not a complete win. They're still, outgunned at this point. But there's a little bit of chance for them to start getting dividends and working their way back into the game.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got heroes on Team Wales that can absolutely flash farm to try and get their net worth back up. Lena, particularly, when she starts getting the higher levels and she can start really spamming out her abilities and spells, you will see a difference. But again, we're seeing the high ground push using the Death Prophet ultimate here to really whittle down the tower. You can see that the bats from the ultimate there swarming around, doing a lot of building damage, but also really just sort of phasing or warding off Team Wales, who are unable to come forward. This will come down to whether or not they can hold and whether or not they can make some counter kills. We've still got the Aegis up on Juggernaut at the moment. I'm not sure how much longer is left on the timer. It only lasts for 5 minutes from the time of pickup. There's still 3 minutes left on that, so still plenty of time. Oh, some phenomenal stuns coming in there from Team Wales, eating up the first life of that Aegis. And Dragon Knight managing to survive. Earth Spirit bring it down low, but managing to escape. Unfortunately, Shadow Shaman again being a bit of a sacrificial lamb for Team Wales, but he did drop his wards down around the top barracks there, which would have helped to ward off, and they managed to catch out the Death Prophet. Phenomenal.
So what's the difference between a barracks and a tower?
So the barracks is what produces the creeps. You've got a range and a melee barracks on the top, on the high ground. Sorry, I was just having a quick look there to see if they managed to catch out, but Wind Ranger are able to teleport away. No stuns being available to stop the teleport. So you've got the barracks, you've got the melee and the range barracks. What will happen, it doesn't stop the production of your creeps in the lane, but it will empower the production of the opposing team's creeps. So when the melee barracks goes down for you, the opposing melee creeps become slightly stronger. This is what we talk about when we're getting mega creeps. Now, the mega creeps is where all barracks have been brought down for one team. The other team's creeps become much stronger, and it becomes a lot more difficult for you to clear the waves and a lot easier for mega creeps to push towards the high ground. So it gives you that lane advantage, the equilibrium advantage, because there is what we call backdoor defense on the buildings. If you do not have a creep near your opposing team's buildings, you can't damage them. They have a shield that will protect them. So you need your lane to push forward. You need to be able to pick out the first of the Wraith King's lives there. And I think probably going to go down for a second. No, 4 staffing away. It looks as if they're going to catch out. Unfortunately, unable to escape there. But this may mean Grimstroke going down as well, having come forward to try and pose some support. Yeah, it's not looking good at the moment out in open play, but we can see Lena very much pushing the lanes out there in the bottom lane. Juggernaut having to go back to try and contest the lane equilibrium.
So it just looks like Singapore near enough. The turn was put out earlier as a death ball, essentially just near enough clustering up as a big group and just going around picking off players just to harm them as much as possible, and that seems to keep going on until I guess the creeps for the dire side push around and then they can put a proper attack onto one of the 3 towers.
Absolutely, and to counter this, what Team Wales need to be able to do is to keep those lanes pushed out, keep the equilibrium far enough away from their towers that they are protected by the backdoor protection, stopping Team Singapore from being able to drop them, and that's what we're seeing here from Lena. The danger of that is getting caught out when you are exposed out in the lane there, but she is managing to stay hidden. Juggernaut not being able to find them, but Juggernaut picking up a Maelstrom and also has a Manta style, which are 2 very powerful weapons, which will help Juggernaut himself be able to push the lanes out with a little bit of splash damage from the Maelstrom and being able to create illusions from his Manta style. Luckily they actually dodging, or I say dodging, the roll being missed from Earth Spirit, allowing Lena to teleport away to safety. So you can see the tips coming out there from Team Singapore to Song for that fantastic little sneaky play to escape the pick off from Team Singapore.
So I can see now that top lane and mid lane have got creeps pushing on through to the Radiant side. But why are we not seeing the follow-up come through from Singapore to push with those creeps?
So again, this is where we're talking about the high ground defense, so they can't overextend themselves. Having to leave a hero back to try and clear the lanes is sort of stopping their ability to just push straight up into the high ground. We saw in that top lane fight that if they do just blindly go uphill without setting up, without a couple of pickoffs first, they are leaving themselves very vulnerable to Team Wales's counter attack. So it's a slow game. You'll see a siege game going on here where Juggernaut using his mantra illusions to push uphill with the creeps here. So this is where the Death Prophet ultimate has been dropped to do a bit of chip damage to that tower, and Team Wales probably unable to respond straight away. They're using their fortification to try and keep that tower alive, and we're probably going to see a pick off again in Shadow Shaman there. But yet Team Wales at the moment are a bit split up, spread around the map, losing heroes bit by bit, which is never a good thing. This is where we needed those to see Team Wales grouping up and not allowing themselves to be picked off. But we do have buybacks coming in from Team Wales to try and counter push, taking out the Earth Spirit. But Juggernaut absolutely zoning Team Wales there. Juggernaut really living up to his name, and it looks as if Team Singapore gonna back off for the time being. Haven't taken the bottom tower, but not pushing on further. They have smoked, so they'll probably rotate into mid lane now and try and push that out as well.
So it's just more about just trying not to overcommit onto that, really. Just making sure that they can have a clean, concise fight and don't give any chance of the comeback to come here.
Absolutely. They
like
waited.
The Roshan is respawned on him pretty soon, so they waiting for that?
They probably will wait. You can see that they're placing their Lich into the Roshan pit there to see if the spawn timer is going to be a short one or not. There is a slight randomization into the length of the spawn timer for Roshan, but obviously not respawning. So they will probably try to take another fight and then circle back into the Roshan pit to see what they can do and pick up another Aegis of the Immortal. What we saw in the last fight is that because Lina and I believe Dragon Knight were out of position in trying to push out top lane, that allowed Team Singapore to push into that high ground with the Wind Ranger there to stop a teleport. I believe we didn't actually see the camera feed, but I suspect what happened is Lina tried to teleport back in and was prevented to because of the pressure from the Wind Ranger. So Roshan has respawned and Team Singapore in the pit there. It is unlikely that Team Wales will contest this if they even know that it's going on. Not a lot of wards around telling them the location of Team Singapore at the moment.
You can even see Singapore, not with the whole squad there, starting to try and look around on that top lane, push back, hopefully stop any snipe, but like you said, no one even close, and
no, fully uncontested.
Singapore and just wait and see, like, where are they then?
Absolutely, and this is probably the best play from Team Wales, is to not try and contest Roshan in that pit, is to get that bottom lane pushed out as much as possible. Ms. Nesbitt there on Lina, really doing a good job of putting the pressure on that bottom lane, and now with the team being able to sort of teleport back into base for that high ground defense, this is where they'll need to pick up some decent kills. That tower they will probably just sack. They'll try and let Team Singapore push in and use some abilities and hopefully catch them out on the back line there, with Earth Spirit being brought down. Fantastic. But Death Prophet using BKB and Ultimate to try and zone out Team Wales.
One knockdown for Singapore, one for Wales, second for Wales coming on through. Quick respawn back on in.
So that is a big
75 second. That's a big
That's a
one.
big pick on the Dragon Knight, and it's going to be a big pick on Wraith King. I suspect that this is going to be the beginning of the end. Having used their buybacks already, Team Wales going to have longer respawn timers, and it doesn't look as if they're going to be able to mount a meaningful defense with just the Shadow Shaman, who has really been just been left hang out to dry really during this game. You can see bottom of the net worth. I dread to think how many kills he's suffered during this game. Yeah, and he's going to go down again there. Team Singapore looks as if they're just going to go straight for the throne, taking out the tier 4 towers, and GG called. Unfortunately, Team Wales not able to get off to a quick enough start. Team Singapore really utilising, as you say, that death ball tactic to get themselves to the winning position. Unfortunate to see from Team Wales there.
We called it earlier just the karma of esports, right? We have got a stellar Rocket League team that has just smashed and push on through to a very advantageous position. But Jake, you win some, you lose some, and we always knew that Dota 2 was going to be a difficult competition to push forward, not only for the women's but the men's as well. And you're seeing some really fierce squads come up against Wales.
Yeah, we may have not had the best performances in Dota, but like we talked about earlier, Wales were one of the only squads to actually get teams into every single category. We had 6 teams go in. We've had the women's qualify into eFootball playoffs, so they're going to be playing. They should have been playing shortly, but I'll explain that in a moment. Some things have changed. We've had the men's qualify into the playoffs, so they're also through to the semi-finals. And then we've had the Rocket League men's qualify into the playoffs. So 3 out of 6 for a nation of Wales' size is amazing. We've done amazingly in scouting and, getting the talent. And this will hopefully bring the perspective and the eyes onto the Welsh scene to help grow the grassroots even further, and that's exactly what EsportsWales are wanting to do. So in relation to the eFootball women's, Kenya were supposed to be partaking today. They had some visa issues, which meant they couldn't take part yesterday. So they were going to forfeit their games from yesterday and play as the lower seed in the semi-finals. But their flight today also got delayed, which means they haven't been able to make it to the event. So what the admins have decided to do is Northern Ireland, who were supposed to be playing against Kenya in their semi-final, have got a bye to the final. And then Wales will play... I don't know who it is because I've lost the sheet that had all of my information on. Wales are playing another team. I think it might be England.
Wales are playing. Yeah. Just say Wales are playing, and then that's...
Wales are playing England in the semi-final to decide who plays Northern Ireland in the final. Both games on Sunday. The third place match is now just basically the semi-finals to qualify into the final. But
like a lower bracket finals going into upper brackets
much, yes.
If you're doing double elimination.
Yes, exactly. But other than that, I think that's now, due to the women's eFootball being rescheduled, that is everything for today. We've had some really good games, haven't we, Bacon?
Oh, yeah, it's been great fun all throughout the day. Dota has been super interesting to get a little dive on. Big shout out to you, Smico, to come on board and sort of like showing us the ropes, teaching us.
Everything I said was wrong. Everything I said was wrong. Ignore everything I said.
But you said it with such confidence, though.
That's the key. That's always the key. It doesn't matter if you're right.
No one will question.
As long as you're loud and you're confident, it doesn't matter if you're right. That's how life works, right? But no, it was phenomenal to see all Team Wales performances across the board. Whether or not the problem with team games like Dota is that they can seem very one-sided very quickly, which is not the case. The games are often won or lost in the drafting phase, and when you're playing against teams that you don't regularly see play, you don't know what they're going to be drafting. So it can be a lot of the luck of the draw, really, which teams you're coming up against in team compositions. I said initially when we saw the draft for the women's team that I favoured Singapore's draft just because of their early game potential, and we really saw that being borne out. So I don't think there was anything negative we can say about the play that happened in the game. Unlike with games like Rocket League, where you've got 3 cars and that's it's the play on the day. Going into a Dota game, you can already be at a disadvantage, and I think that's what we saw there in the last game, unfortunately.
Well, any final thoughts from you, Bacon?
A little bit upset that not able to get to see any of the eFootball action, but that's just how it is sometime, and it just means got to tune in on Saturday to get to see it. That's it. Just wait 2 days and I'll get my wish.
See, that's the difference between a professional and an absolute nab like me. You're like, we're going to draw them in, and I guess you'll just have to come back on Saturday, chat, to see the rest of our lovely faces and all the games. And it's a pro. It's been an absolute pleasure. Even though I was only on for about an hour with you guys, it's been great fun. So thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on, because you know, trying to cast that Dota game would have been abysmal if it was just me and Bacon. Don't go back and watch the VOD. I might just go and delete it. But no,
Someone
honestly,
clip it, chat. Someone clip it. Someone get some clips.
Yeah.
Chat, get some clips.
It's been a great experience doing this. I'd really thank EsportsWales for even being the catalyst to make sure this all happened for the home nations, because it's not just us that are streaming our perspective and our games. Scotland have got theirs on, and British Esports Federation are putting the Esports England games on. But for us, that is us done right now. Unfortunately, I have plans for the rest of the day, so I won't be able to cover the semi-finals, but we're hoping that the British Esports Federation will be covering some of them. So if you're not already watching them or following them, we're going to raid them. Go follow them and continue following the home nations in the Commonwealth Esports Championships. If we don't get a gold here, then hopefully one of the other home nations will. So from everyone here at EsportsWales, from Bacon, from Smico, and from everyone on site at Nottingham, the players, the coaching staff, the team managers, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you're all going to be cheering on Wales as they move forward through this competition. See you next time, and take care.
Hard to explain it, my heart is racing, and I can't take it anymore. I just want you around me, kissing me softly, our bodies taking